In the immortal words of Pob, hello! Hello! Welcome to the Shelf Side Spurs Show. Apologies, I'm a bit greyed out this week, but my USB light will not work. Barry will testify. I've tried plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D to try and get it to work, but just I'm going to hide in the shadows like Batman tonight. Tonight, as you can see, the usual. We've got a special guest, but first we'll go through the usual panel. We've got the Bazmeister General. All right, say hello, Barry.
Hello, Barry.
Rez down there somewhere.
What up?
And the special guest, the T-Dog himself, Tommy from Tommy Talks Ball.
Is that, you've added a few more names in? Is that Rolly?
Rolly and
Wellard. Rolly and Wellard, the dogs from EastEnders.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Should have known.
Oh, right, there we go. Yeah.
I put my foot right in it there, haven't I?
I would say
you've foot right in it there, haven't I? Oh,
you've bitten. You've bitten.
Oh, mate. Why do I do these things? But cheers for having me, boys. It's been a lot. I've never been on the show, so thanks ever so much. I've had all of you on my show lots of times, so great to finally be here. I've got to say that intro gives me the Scottish vibes. And do you know it's National Bagpipe Day today? Bagpipe, if I can say.
Is it?
National Bagpipe Day. Yes.
That's quite funny considering it's National Women's Day. Was it yesterday? And then
yeah,
Bagpipe Day. from one beast that moans constantly to another.
Just don't do like a bagpipe version. Don't
do a windbag joke.
And don't do like a bagpipe version of the intro, Johnny.
Okay.
I'm not sure we could take it.
You know? We'll I'll try and do one next week. Yeah, we'll steer clear of windbag stroke women jokes, won't we? Right.
I ain't saying nothing.
You're within punching distance of Kim. Yeah.
She would destroy me.
I'm sat near the knives.
Yes.
Not only is it Bagpipe Day, but after the news earlier of what's happened to Chelsea, this is a very pertinent day in history for clubs which are complete scumbags. So I've got my little book here, and guess what happened on this day in history? I shall read it to you now.
Chelsea were formed in 1905.
Blimey, that as well. But this one is from Monday, the 10th of March, 1919. Right. Arsenal confirmed their place as Spurs rivals on and off the pitch. The Gunners had previously moved north from Woolwich to make Tottenham their geographical rivals. However, with the Football League looking to restart after the end of World War I, Arsenal managed to take Spurs' place in the First Division, causing outrage at White Hart Lane and ultimately forming a bitter rivalry that is as strong today as it was when it first began. So today is the anniversary of them getting confirmed, having nicked our place in Division 1.
Scum.
And I'm wearing red.
So that's not only National Bagpipe Day, it's National Scummy Club Day. Chelsea were formed and Arsenal confirmed their... What should we say?
Yeah.
Rez, how could we summarise
their
some sort of status?
Their modus operandi is scum.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's why I would say
they're ill-earned status in the top flight of football. Basically, every other club has earned their place in the top flight. They're the only ones who never, ever have.
As you know, mate, I call them Asterix FC. Every time they pipe up at me about all their honours, I said, you've got an asterisk next to all of yours because you never qualified for the top flight in the first place. So Asterix FC, they're called.
Correct.
Correct. Let's go through a few of the comments. Cody is reminding us of the Chelsea sanctions. Chelsea gets sanctioned. Yes, after 3.
Everywhere
they go. Chelsea gets sanctioned.
Everywhere they go.
Fuck off.
Probably 10 minutes, yeah.
I don't think
this the coffee guy? Is Ben Kaufman a coffee guy?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. We went there today for a coffee, and my God, the guy. I mean, we've all drunk coffee for a large part of our lives. It's not coffee that we've been drinking. After what I drank today, it is something else entirely. Seriously.
Is that good? Is that good or bad?
It's that good.
Right.
It's that good. Trust me. So if you haven't been to Ben's coffee place, go. It's
Put
worth
the address in, Ben. Again, we'll put it up
Where
here.
is it located? Where is it located?
Well, we'll
What
find
do you
out in a
think?
minute, Tommy. Funny you should ask, because Ben's
Yeah.
about to give us the address again, and we'll put it up in the
Absolutely.
comments bar. Aaron,
Yeah.
good evening, hooligans, and good evening, Aaron Dove.
Indeed.
Graham's in the house.
Graham's in the house.
I
Great.
learned something last night of Aaron's full name, and that was very interesting.
Is it not Aaron Dove?
No.
Has he got? Did you find out his middle name? Did you?
He's got.
Well, first off, his first name is Alan. Anyway, it's not Aaron.
Is it?
So,
Yeah.
Alan.
Yeah. His name's Alan because, but it's from what I understand, it's someone he knew. I can't remember what the relationship was from Japan who can't say Alan and called him Alan. That's what I understand it was.
Very
Yeah,
informative.
there it is.
Thank you, Aaron. You were speaking. You sounded last night that you said you weren't coming across in a good way, but actually you were coming across in the right way, and it was very informative last night.
Was that Collins? I watched the first
serious
part of the
show.
Collins, but it was Collins, was it? Talking ball.
Yeah, I think so.
I was, yeah.
Tommy, is that anywhere near you? Can you nip along for a coffee?
8 the Broadway. No.
IG.
No. I'll run down there. I'll get about.
It reminds me of his postcode reminds me of a droid from Star Wars or The Mandalorian. IG-88. Yeah, IG-88. I had a little Lego man of IG-88.
Yeah, he's a bounty hunter.
Tommy, you're getting some grief for the same reasons Barry was giving you grief.
Yeah, I had Scotty Yem on the Man United channel about an hour ago as well. So
it's laundry day. It's laundry day.
I'm burning it. I'm burning it halfway through. That's what I'm wearing it.
To be honest, there you go.
His girlfriend. So I don't know whether she can.
To be honest, Tommy, it would have been better. It would have been better if you turned up naked, not because we want to see you naked, but
it'd be even when you see it halfway through. When you see it halfway through, and you see me man boobs. One of the first streams I've done, I ripped my shirt off and was celebrating. That's when I didn't have man boobs.
Man boobed up to the nines.
You can compare. When I burnt this halfway through, you can compare. The boobies
all you need to do is lean forward. If you lean forward enough and your head fills the thing, then he'll be fine. You know. Here we go.
Rez, as a voiceover artist, would you like to try an Irish accent for this, or will that offend?
I can try the Irish accent, but I'm not 100% certain on the pronunciation of the Gael part as it's spelt there. But my English name is Alan Patrick. My name is Alan Patrick William IV McDowell. There you go. That's the best I can do on short notice.
Aaron, sorry.
Alan Patrick Willian. Was it Willian or William?
Willian?
Will-I-am?
Will-I-am, yeah.
I'm sorry, Aaron. I was trying to actually be serious, and Rez and Johnny have just turned it all shelf side, mate. Sorry.
Balls. You don't try and turn anything serious, you lying bastard.
I am serious, mate. I'm serious these days.
Are we to call him Aaron or Alan then? What do you want us to call you? Alan / Aaron. It is William. He confirmed.
I was calling him Iran for the first.
The A dog. Let's call him the A dog. A dog club.
C dog.
A dog.
A dog.
Oh, Rez has done a runner.
He's done a runner, hasn't he?
So when we have people on for the first time, put my business head on, Tommy. We like to do a feature we like to call White Hart Memory Lane, which is why you were on today. So with Tommy, I didn't want to reveal your surname in case you got any stalkers in the world. So I've left you as Tommy.
It's Stevenson.
Yeah, it's Stevenson.
Plenty of stalkers. Yeah. So I'm thankful for that.
Guys, we must be very fortunate because this weekend is actually Crufts. So I'm really surprised that Tommy's not at Crufts this weekend, and we've managed to get him on the screen.
So the YouTube community, the man himself has spoken. He wants to be called Aaron. So
Aaron.
I'm not biting. I'm not biting yet. It's only 10 minutes. I'm not biting yet.
Not biting, Tommy.
I think that was deliberate, Barry. You fool.
Come on, people. Throw us a fucking bone here.
I've got to edit this together as a serious piece for Tommy. So can we please refrain from the
Oh,
jokes,
these are written down. Oh no, for a fact, these are written down in front of you. You got like A4, all these quips.
No, mate.
No, they're not.
Did you know what you're leading him on now, aren't you?
I'm just leaving a natural point so I can cut it there. There we go. Tommy, why Spurs? How did you become a Spurs fan?
Right. Okay, so I just went through this because I was on Man United channel. I'm quite embarrassed, actually. I started off, I was born in Seven Sisters. So, I was born in North Middlesex Hospital in Tottenham. I grew up in Seven Sisters. My mum lived there for about 20 years. I could hear the away games, home games, I should say, from the balcony. So it was quite, it was quite mad growing up. Even in Tottenham, my first team growing up in Tottenham was Man United. When I was 6 years old, I got a Man United shirt. Old Trafford, Theatre of Dreams. Remember that? It was really weird material. Really, it was like cardboardy silk. It was really weird.
Glory
Theatre of Dreams. But I was 6 years old, to be fair. It was only once I left London to move to Kent when I was 7 that I started supporting Spurs.
You felt the yearning for your hometown club.
I've got the lily white blood. Running through my veins now.
That's where we park, actually. Yeah. Where you were born. We'll have a little homage. We'll pour some whiskey next time we're there. For my brother.
Above Tesco. Do you know Tesco? You've seen the Tesco, obviously. Mum and apartment above there.
Oh, nice. Yes.
Are we going to have to, I'm sorry, Johnny, are you telling us that we're going to have to scale a Tesco and pour some whiskey on its roof?
No, North Middlesex Hospital where Barry parks. We just pour some in the car park. Like,
don't tell everyone where I fucking park.
And the number plate is, what kind of car is it?
I'm not concerned about the number plate. I'm concerned we won't get space. So.
Oh, yeah. Oh, shit, yeah. There is no parking there. In the old days, you used to be able to park there, but not anymore. It's too busy.
Not anymore. No.
Yeah,
there's never space in North Middlesex Hospital ever.
Where you want to park.
No one tried to park there.
No. Tommy, what do you remember or most about your first Spurs game? Score and scorers, and whereabouts did you sit and stand? What do you remember most about your first game? Any memories you've got?
So my first game was 99, something like that. It was at Aston Villa, but my memory is pretty much blank. And I'll tell you why. It seems like since I've got epilepsy, my memory is here, there, and everywhere. And I don't remember the game. I think we won 2-1. It was a glorious day. Definitely East Stand. I was definitely in the East Stand. We definitely picked up a victory. And it was good because Aston Villa were good in them days, good in those days. 80s, they won the European Cup mid-80s, didn't they? It's not too long ago against Bayern Munich, I think, they are a huge club, Aston Villa. Like when I go to a lot of cricket away with the Barmy Army and that, Villa fans everywhere, Leeds fans everywhere. So they got a big support. So that was my first game. We beat them 2-1. I think it's 2-1, something like that. I really can't remember a great deal about it. But
do you remember?
I haven't been to as many games as you boys. I wish I could, do the season ticket thing. But I'm
Kent's a long way, mate. Yeah.
It's not how far, but I've probably been to about 80 games altogether. I certainly haven't been to 100 games.
Have you been to Edgbaston, speaking of cricket, when you go out in Villa and Birmingham?
No, I haven't. Is it?
It's a good day out.
Is it pucker? Yeah.
Just don't try and hide your voice when you go out there because the Brummies don't like us too much. We got in a black cab at the station. He was chatting away to us like we're long lost brothers and stuff. He's like, "Where are you boys from then, mate?" I'd be like, "Oh, I'm from beep." I don't want to give out where we're from. And then he literally shut his window and didn't talk to us for the rest of the time because he obviously thought and he goes, "Where's that?" And we're like, "Oh, it's near London." And he just shut his little thing and he didn't talk to us for the rest of the journey. He hated us because we were from London. Honestly, it was so nice. I thought, it's all right up here in Birmingham. It's they're so welcoming and friendly. But no, when he found out we're from London, he was like, "No, you're gone to me. You're dead to me." You'll like this next one, Tommy. As a connoisseur of shirts, I know you collect Spurs shirts. Do you remember what your first one was, and did you have a name and a number on the back?
Yes. I think it was early 2000s. As I said, back in 98, I still wasn't a Spurs fan, really. When I went to that Spurs Villa game, it It was just like with a family member. So it would have been. Do you know what? It would have been the Kappa days. It would have been back in the Kappa days. That's why I think that's why I've got a big nostalgia. I'm really nostalgic when it comes to Kappa shirts. They were the greatest for me. I don't do names and numbers. I've never done name. I never got it. I never got the whole name and number thing. Not for me. No. Not for me. But it was. I think it was the home Thompson shirt. The home Thompson shirt with blue lining, long sleeve. Yeah. What happened to the long sleeve shirts? What happened to the long sleeve shirts?
Have you seen Harry Kane do these? What do they call it? What's my shirt or something? Like he does it on. It's on Sky.
Oh yeah.
He agrees with that, Tom. He said that that's one of his favourite shirts when he was growing up in the youth team. He said he loved that one because it had long sleeves and it went past his elbows, and he loved the long sleeves on that Kappa shirt. He obviously said
they don't sell long sleeves anymore, do they? They just don't do long sleeve tops. It's depressing.
Kane said he had a bit of puppy fat in those days. He said so it wasn't the most flattering, but he loved the long sleeves. He said. It's worth a watch.
Less material, so it costs less to do short sleeves.
What were your three? Just for like any crazy ones there? Any crazy ones?
I've got mine, the 1987 one with the little triangles on the front. I've got it here somewhere. Where is it? I'll go and get it. For nostalgia reasons. Talk amongst yourselves, Rez.
So
I want the Holston Adidas one. I think how long did we have Adidas? It was only 2 years.
I got that one. That was my one. That was my one. The Holston Adidas one, Tommy. That was a bang.
At home, at home, because everyone bangs on about the blue and gold one.
I want the purple. I want that purple Holston one because I had the purple Holston one. I think it is.
This is the actual shirt I first had, which started my journey as a Spurs fan. I don't know if you can see it. That
nice.
One, yeah.
Yes.
And it's
that's the Maradona testimonial one.
Yeah,
he wore that as testimonial, didn't he?
1987. Clive Allen.
Is that a replica? Is that a replica?
Not Aussie's testimonial. Sorry, Aussie's testimonial.
No, it's the real one. I got it from the club shop at the time, and everything. It's really shrunk. I was like 6 or 7 at the time. So my dream is because when I first started supporting Tottenham, Clive Allen was my hero. So I want to get Clive Allen to sign this and then get it framed. So nice. I was intending on booking on one of his Legends tours just so I can get him to sign it.
You had Perryman about last week. I'm sure you could have.
Perryman. That was Perryman. Perryman kind of left just before I started the 87, right at the beginning of the 87 season. He left. So.
But it's hard. It's hard to get someone to sign a shirt over a stream, though. That's the other thing.
That's tricky. That is tricky. Yeah.
Can you sign your screen for me?
Nay on impossible. Aaron says, "Yeah, nice. I had that for my Sabuya team. Yeah, we were saying about that the other day because you had to paint your men, didn't you? And they didn't do cultural diversity in those days. So you had to, when you had Danny Thomas or Mitchell Thomas, you had to sort of colour them in yourself.
Colour them in.
Yeah. And in those days, every toy shop had all of the sets. You could buy a Tottenham set, a Liverpool set, a Man United set. Yeah. Nowadays, they just give you colours. They do a red one, a blue one. Sabuya has dropped off the map, innit? Sabuya was awesome.
Do you know what I was looking up? Because I wanted to get a little shelf of all things. I wanted to get a little shelf of the I can't remember what they're called. They had little green bits at the bottom, and massive heads. They don't.
Soccer stars they're called.
Yeah, soccer.
Okay.
Yeah. I told the story. Yeah, I told the story last week, Tommy. My little nephews, they had a Toby Alderweireld one, and in one of the Europa League games, it wasn't last season, the season before, he got a head injury, and my nephews were watching, and they were really nearly crying because Toby had got injured and he had his blood pouring out of his head. So my sister had to make a little bandage because they patched up Toby and put him back on, and my sister had to make a little bandage for the soccer star guy. So we tweeted a picture of it to Toby on Twitter, and he sent back a nice picture with his thumbs up saying nice work, guys, or something like that. So it was a nice little interaction with Toby.
I'm gonna look. Yeah. I'm sure there was a different name in the 90s. I'm gonna have a look now. I think
Soccer Stars with a Z. They're called Soccer Stars now.
I know we're sort of doing Tommy at the moment, but it's just to let you know, Chelsea don't seem to be affected by the sanctioning of Abramovich. They're 2-0 up against Norwich, and Wolves are 3-0 up against Watford. And it's only 20 minutes gone. Yeah.
Well, you thought.
Thank you for that wonderful news, Rez. Now, fuck
Yeah,
off.
you thought they'd get a reaction when because they were booing the other day when everyone was singing or clapping in Ukraine. They started singing Roman Abramovich's name.
It was called right. They
Siege
were
mentality.
called. Sorry to butt in. They were called Corinthian Pro Stars. That's it, Corinthian Pro Stars. Remember that? 90s.
Yeah.
Aaron cheated at Sabutio. That's brilliant. I love that.
Look at this one. Edgar Davids. Class.
Oh yeah, those guys. Yeah, they're called Soccer Stars with a Z now. You can still get them all.
Yeah.
If you go on eBay, Tommy, you can get them all the classics. They looked nothing like the players, did they?
No, definitely not. Late 90s, absolutely not. No.
Down less. That is brilliant.
Aaron, that is an absolutely brilliant technique.
Our mate Ali, right? He 1 year he did the whole Premier League season with this Sabutio team, and then we didn't see him all summer. About 3 months later, he came out of his hiding place, and we're like, "Well, what happened, Ali?" He goes, "Oh, Tottenham won the league." I said, "Oh, so obviously fixed it." He goes, "No, I didn't fix it at all." And like they won, and he showed us his table, and Tottenham had won the league by like 30 points and stuff. Like, yeah, didn't fix it at all, Ali. Didn't fix it at all.
Oh, dear.
Power.
From what I know, there was nothing that differentiated each sort of the little plastic figures in terms of what they did, right? They were all
they were the same, yeah. Apart from the goalies had the long green stick that he on the back of the. It was even back then. It was too much of a faff at Sabutio for me. You had to get the pitch out and then iron it flat and then make sure it was all. I was like, so
what were the actual rules? It was a bit before my time. What were the actual rules like?
Aaron? No, Aaron cheated. He's the wrong person to ask.
It was just like you'd have these little green things and you'd flick them.
I think you had three. You had 3 flicks, and if you missed the ball, then it was the other person's time. So if you touched the ball, you had another 3 flicks, and then if you missed it, it was quite hard. Yeah, I'm sure it was 2 or 3 flicks. Maybe someone in the panel, the viewing millions.
If you're not athletic enough to do this, 5-a-side or 6-a-side thing, I think we should just do a 5-a-side or 6-a-side Sabutio. I think that'd be a lot easier.
I think there's a bit of artistic license there, isn't there, Ben? I'm sure he didn't, but it'd be nice to think that he did.
Brilliant.
Right, Tommy. Who was your first Spurs hero as an impressionable youth? As a Man United
100%. 100%. No. When I started supporting Spurs properly, when I knew what football was, 100% Robbie Keane. Robbie Keane, without a shadow of a doubt. I've had like 4 or 5 intros on my channel, but every single one is involved Robbie Keane. I just loved it. Back in the day when we had CFAX and it come up, Robbie Keane signed, and then we had the halftime presentation. It was a big deal. £5 or £6 million back then was a.
He broke my heart, Tommy. I refused to cheer for him when he came back. I just to stand there and hump because I was like pissed off at him for leaving in the first place. Yeah, and then I always remember one game where he fell over in the middle of the pitch and the whole crowd laughed at him. It's when he came back and then he got transferred at the end of the season. He just kind of lost that connection.
What a wanker, leaving us for Liverpool. Liverpool wasn't even that great then. It wasn't even that great.
That was his boyhood club there, wasn't it? He had no choice but to say yes.
One of his many boyhood clubs, apparently. Yeah. Every club he went to was his boyhood club.
I loved him and he let me down.
And what shirt was he wearing? He was wearing the half-time.
The weird thing is,
it was the Thompson one.
The weird thing is that when Berbatov left, it was painful. But it wasn't as painful as when Keane went to Liverpool. That really hurt. That really, really hurt. It's like Berbatov, you can sort of, the sort of arrogance of him and the fact that he wasn't, he was that sort of languid, sort of slightly aloof figure. It was sort of like, okay. But Keane leaving for Liverpool was stung really badly. And like you, Johnny, I never fully forgive him.
Yeah, never.
Didn't fully forgive him.
He didn't stay long after that, really, did he? He helped us in I think that's when Redknapp went mad, just signing ex-players. Cabal, Defoe, Keane. We nearly got relegated, didn't we? Kept us up, and then he went. I think we went to West Ham as well. We went to West Ham.
2 points from 8 games.
2 points from 8 games, twitching away. 2 points from 8 games.
That was bad, but imagine him and Kane now.
For sure.
Trivic little player. Trivic little player. Trivic little player.
He's terrific. I love Harry. He's a good man.
I do. If it wasn't for his bad knees, he'd still be involved in the game, I'm sure. He had operations on both knees, and so he can't stand up for sustained periods anymore. Have you been to any away days?
Well, he's been to Old Trafford. He's probably been to...
I don't know. Have you been to Old Trafford, Tommy?
No, away days, not sat in the home stands.
Oh, sorry.
Don't interrupt the guests when they're speaking.
Do you know what? I've been to one away game. How bad is that? It's shameful. I've been to one away game, and it was at Craven Cottage, Fulham.
I used to love going there.
And I think we drew. What a stadium. What a stadium.
Did they have the Michael Jackson statue when you went?
I think so, yeah. I was young.
Speaking of those soccer stars, speaking of those soccer stars, they had a whole fucking statue of Michael Jackson that looked nothing like him. Maybe it's the same people that used to design soccer stars.
It's because it was Al Fayed, because Al Fayed was a massive Jackson fan and loved him. And when he owned Fulham, he randomly put up a statue to Michael Jackson at Fulham. What possible relationship is there other than he went there once?
He's up for a laugh, though. He's up for a laugh.
I've been to
Did you see him on Ali G?
Did
you see that famous skit on Ali G? Mohammed with Mohammed Al Fayed. Oh my god, that was brilliant. He's in for the he's up for a laugh. He's up for a laugh.
When he sold the club, he insisted that the statue got moved to Harrods, didn't he? And now my mother's former partner, God bless his soul, he's no longer with us. He used to work at Harrods, and he said part of the deal when Al Fayed sold Harrods was they had to keep the Diana Memorial and Dodie Memorial in place for perpetuity forever. I'm not sure what happened with the Michael Jackson, whether that was in the deal or not. You have to keep the Michael Jackson statue. So has anyone in the chat been to Harrods recently? Have you seen whether they've got a Michael Jackson statue still at Harrods?
Just the shit Madam Two Swords, no?
We've got a question before we move on from one of the panel for you, Tommy. Just a quick bonus question. Question for the honoured guest.
No, come on, no.
Young men's form recently.
The hundreds of messages I've had about this.
We need Will on. This conversation's only apt when Will's about, when Mr. Will rants about.
No, Tommy, because Cody's going to clip it, mate. So it's fine. He'll send it to him. So you know.
Right. I was there. It was my first game in ages.
YouTube have created a beast now, haven't they? Because they've got a cut feature. You can just cut it in live time. So Cody's loving it, cutting some more.
He's king of the clips. King of the clips.
He was rubbish on Monday. To be fair,
we'll get onto it later when we do our player ratings. Yeah,
fair play. He scored a hat trick. I'll leave it at that.
I'll tell you what. Yes, Ben, you're definitely posh with the whole Fortnum's thing, but I will tell you this, right? Fortnum and Mason's strawberry jam is out of this world. Really. Unbelievable. If you ever fancy like a treat like that for some weird reason, I don't know how I got to taste it. I tasted it once. I think a friend of mine had got a hamper for a present from Fortnum and Mason's. And I was round his house, and we were a bit peckish, so he made some toast and he put the strawberry jam on it. It was unbelievable, and I yearned for this. So this was years ago. I was in my 20s when I tried it, and for years I hankered for this stuff. And
I think dogs prefer peanut butter. I think dogs prefer peanut butter.
Yeah, they do. But at some point, I went into Fortnum's, and it was still in my head. And I thought, right, I'm going to Fortnum's, and I want some of this strawberry jam. And this stuff, I was almost eating it by the spoonful. It is unbelievable.
There goes our working class audience of viewers. Resting is fucking Fortnum and Mason.
You've got to try it. It's not. I mean, it's pricey. I'm not going to lie. I mean, you can buy a pot of jam for like 80p nowadays. This stuff's like 5-6 quid.
It's cheaper to smear peanut butter on it, though, isn't it, Tommy?
That's for the dogs. Yeah.
Stick with smooth. Don't trust crunchy. Stick with smooth. But I've only...
Is that
Tommy?
Is that what the bitches prefer?
In certain
education.
countries,
This is a dog education. I mean, I don't know how you advertise this stream, but dog educator. Tommy the dog educator.
Did you know we had a player for my football team? He was over from Denmark doing some a gap year kind of thing. He was like 19 or 20, and when he was over here, obviously we ripped the piss out of him all the time about Danish stuff. And Denmark introduced a law where it was illegal to sleep with dogs, and this was only maybe 3 or 4 years ago. So until 3 or 4 years ago, we said to him, "So you're allowed to sleep with dogs?" He's like, "Yeah, not anymore." Like everyone knew about it as well. Yeah, but not anymore.
Was there a tone of regret in his voice?
You just booking a holiday to Denmark, Tommy? You look down and scroll through your phone, mate. Flights to Denmark.
I'm game. I'll wrap it around. I'll wrap bacon
in a seamless link. Have you ever thought about
whatever dogs prefer in Denmark? I'll wrap it around.
Have you ever been on any European away days, Tommy?
I'm afraid not. No.
I'm afraid
not. Not even to Denmark. Not even to Denmark.
Not yet.
Not yet.
He's applying for
residency. Planted the seed.
I'm sure there's a gag in there like res as well, res and residency.
What would have happened? What would have happened for Denmark to have?
Yeah, exactly. We said that at the time. Someone pushed the boat too far. Like, hold your horses here. It's all right to sleep with dogs, but to abuse them and then never ring them again the next day.
Yeah. If you sleep with dogs, you have to take them flowers the next day, peanut butter, some kind of rubber toy. Those are the rules. Those are the rules.
Rez, Ben's got a recommendation for you on jam before we move
Second only to Rick Stein's blackberry jam. I've not tried that.
Triple roasted peanut butter for Tommy.
Fantastic.
Aaron, however, never got the jam thing. Marmite's the only thing I put on toast. I'm with you there, Aaron. I'm a Marmite man.
I'm not sure Fortnum and Masons do 1980s punk bands. They might. They'll be good quality if they do, but I'm not sure they do. It's very difficult to stack them. That's the problem.
Mr. K's in the house. Hello,
yes,
Mr. K.
Man.
That beard is getting out of control, and it's like he's been off growing his beard somewhere.
It is a beautiful thing,
that's not a beard. That's not a beard. That's
a bees gathered around the honey on his face. It's like a load of bees.
That's
Tommy,
that's a vape cloud. I'm convinced of it.
Tommy, so who was your favourite all-time Spurs player?
Teddy Sheringham.
He pissed us all
it's got to be
Ledley.
Teddy, the great Teddy. It's between Keane and King. Well, it's got to be the Kingster. It's got to be Ledley King.
Okay, man.
I love the man. The problem with Ledley King was, like, I had this conversation a little while ago, is if he never had the injuries he did, and the injuries were obviously crazy, he'd never been at Tottenham, would he? Chelsea or something like that would have picked him up.
Yeah.
But watching him play, is just...
You say that. I mean, I don't know. There's a question mark on that for me about whether or not he would have left. I know that it was the era of, players not being loyal, and we're still in it, obviously. But I don't know. Part of me wants to believe that he never would have left, even if he didn't have his injury problems.
And who knows? He could have, if he was fit all the time. Well, the team would have done better.
That's what I mean.
He could have been fighting higher up the table.
Yeah, part of me doesn't want to believe that he would ever leave.
So after that, after King, and probably Kirikes, the Romanian Maldini. Loved him.
He was mad, wasn't he? There's loads of stories about him
some of these players to us. The way they sell some of these players to us, Romanian Maldini.
Tommy. I'm not sure it's the club selling to us that are the problem. Yeah.
There's a really famous story about Kirikesh getting pissed up, isn't there? And I can't remember what happened, but I remember it involved him getting drunk and something in Romania, because I've got a lot of Romanian mates, and they showed me this clipping of what he'd been up to, getting drunk and disorderly in Romania. I'll dig it out and see if I can find it. Now we've reached the 35-minute mark in the show, and we haven't actually mentioned.
We can swear?
Oh, we've got way beyond that, haven't we?
Way past.
We haven't mentioned this. The Mr. K curse is broken. Third time lucky for Mr. K.
What Mr. K curse?
the first 2 times he went, we lost, and he went on Monday. So the K curse is broken.
Excellent stuff.
What were the other 2 games? I think it was either Southampton or Wolves.
Chelsea was one of them.
Yeah, it was Wolves
Chelsea
or Southampton, wasn't it?
Wolves.
I think. Yeah.
You know, 2 times I've watched us in the North Stand in the new stadium, and twice we won 5-0. Burnley and Everton.
Season ticket for Tommy, I think.
Yeah. K. That's not a wig. That's what people call a merkin, and it's not. A wig of sorts. It is a wig of sorts, but it's not really supposed to be put on the head.
It is National Bagpipe Day, so maybe it's a sporran.
Yeah, let's call it a sporran, not a merkin. Yeah, sporran. It's a sporran. It's not to be worn on the head, really. You know, we don't wear the sporrans on our heads. We wear them somewhere else.
Mrs. Doubtfire. Bit of Mrs. Doubtfire from
Well, hello!
Tommy, who's your favourite current player?
Let me think. It's certainly not centre back. It's certainly not a centre back. It's not a centre back. It's got to be Kane, hasn't it? It's got to be Harry Kane. Son is the face. Yeah, Son is the face of Spurs. But this is going to be controversial. I think Son's half the player is a little bit too strong. But I just think without Kane by the side of him, I don't think he scores anywhere near as many goals. To be honest with you, or
what's that I hear? I think. Hold on. I think I hear Will Stewart.
Giving himself a Chinese burn. I know the stats say something different.
Will Stewart's ghost is about.
But I loved when Cody said to him, "Use your eyes."
Come and find you, Tommy.
Did you see that? Did you see Cody's tweet the other day? He said to Will, can you use your eyes for a second and forget about your stats? And he said he'd rewatched the game with his eyes, and he came out this list of passes completed and stuff. He was like, for fuck's sake, use your eyes, man. It's used his own stat sheet rather than an official stat sheet.
I can't keep up with the WhatsApp groups. Honestly, every morning it's 750 messages, and 99% is. Yeah.
How many was it, Rez, the other day?
Cody and Will.
I did an experiment on Sunday where I ignored WhatsApp. I didn't open WhatsApp at all. I just let all the messages come in and just rack up. I woke up on Sunday morning with 758 messages.
That was
600 of them were in one particular group. Then I got added to another group, which is as prolific as the other one. So I might do another experiment tomorrow and not touch WhatsApp and just see how many it racks up. I'm guessing it's going to be around the 1,500 mark in a day.
I'm not in that group, so
I do quite a lot. I do
get the violin out.
No, it's seriously, it really is. It's like ding, ding, ding. It's like shut up.
Keep notifications. Whoa, that's a big mistake. Keep notifications on.
You can't be dinging away all the time.
That will burn your battery. Just literally, the notifications will burn your batteries.
It does it. I mean, I don't mind. Listen, if people want to chat, it's good. Let them chat.
I'm on a neutral group chat. I'm on a group chat with neutral fans, and honestly, it's nothing like that. We've got 80 of us in there. 80 of us. We're all sort of.
We've got more to moan about, Tommy, haven't we? We've got more to moan about.
We've got a lot more to moan about. Yeah,
it's crazy.
Speaking of annoying things. See what I've done there. Who is your most disliked all-time Spurs player apart from Arsene Campbell, or Campbell as we like to call him, as we're now past the 10-minute mark?
Oh, this is tough.
Have you ever had anyone that you've had a rational or an irrational dislike of?
There's one that people don't get. I'll go with a controversial one. And this is Toby Alderweireld. Never got it.
Get out! Get out!
Yeah.
He tweeted my nephews when he had the bandage on his head. Come on, man.
You brought him up. I think Vertonghen was simply sensational. I think he made Toby look twice the player. I really, really do. He was more interested in his gelled, slick back hair. Wouldn't sign his new contract. Spurs all or nothing. And then when nobody came in for him, he signs the contract. Remember that's ridiculous £25 million minimum release fee before the season ended. He had a £25 million release fee for the year before. The year before his contract was up. So if any club came in for him, then they could take him £25 million. And 2 years before that, it was like, I'm not signing a new contract. I deserve to
that
be at
always
club.
confused me. That always confused me that no one came in for him.
It confused him. He thought he was better than he was. He thought he was better than he was, quite frankly.
No, if you think about where he's gone as well, maybe there's an injury in there somewhere that he couldn't pass medicals or something. Who knows?
The problem was there. The problem with Toby, this is the issue. And I'm not, I don't know how accurate this is, but from what I can gather, what happened was that Toby wanted a new contract, and then Pochettino went to bat for him with Levy and convinced Levy to give him an improved contract. They presented that to Toby, and then Toby's dad, who was his agent, basically said it wasn't good enough. And then that caused the massive rift between Toby and Poch. And then when Poch left, and so Toby refused to sign a contract because he felt aggrieved or because of this rift. And then when Poch left, he then signed a new contract. Because you remember, it was really, really soon after Jose arrived.
And because that summer nobody came in for him with this 25 million.
Yeah, but Poch was still there.
Roma were interested, but that was it.
But Poch was still there. You know, and that contract ended, that clause ended after the season started. So he could have signed a new contract while Poch was there, but he didn't. He only signed after Poch left. Now, again, I don't know how accurate it is, because it's always that sort of trying to piece together from various bits and pieces. I don't think Toby was being arrogant, because if he wanted a move before then, he could have got it a lot sooner. You know, there was rumors that, you know, Man United wanted him, you say Roma wanted him. You know, they could have done it quite easily, but no one came in for him. You know,
and he does love us. He's still tweeting about. He tweets about us all the time, doesn't he?
He's got the
heart. He's got the heart.
I don't know what he's doing over there, but it's not football. I don't know what sport he's playing over there, but it's not football.
Yeah, but you know, him leaving as well. It was also, you know, he was getting on, and I think he realised that it was, first and foremost, this is what I believe. I believe that out of those two, out of Jan and Toby, for me, Jan was the more complete defender, and he was actually the leader out of the two of them. A lot of people will look at that partnership and think, well, Toby's the sort of primary and Jan's the support, but I actually think it was Jan that was the leader.
Jan's the man. That broke my heart when Jan went.
Me too. I mean, I had a massive man crush on him. Really, I still do. I love Jan.
Imagine him left centre back now. Imagine him left centre back now. Be beautiful.
Well, this is it. I mean, I think when Jan left, Toby, obviously his level dropped a little bit, but then he started to get into his 30s, and I think he felt maybe it was just going to be too much for him to keep sort of performing in the Premier League, and he probably wanted one last payday. And you know, I wouldn't begrudge him that. I would begrudge that he's got that payday in a scum pit like Qatar. That I would think, but I don't begrudge him wanting a final sort of, you know, big sort of payday to set him up for the rest of his life in that sort of principle of a footballer's career ending. I think you're being a bit harsh on him, Tommy, I would say. But that's just my own opinion.
I don't like people that disrespect the badge. Like Dele Alli. I think Dele Alli just threw it in the last 3 or 4 years. I think even Danny Rose to a certain degree. I think when you come out to the press... When you're a footballer and you come out to the press about... and he's still contracted to that club, I really, really don't like it. And I don't like Toby talking about waiting for other teams to come in and stuff. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Do you know what?
I guess it's less about the play. I guess it's less about the player's ability and more about. I think there's a time and a place. Maybe your memoirs.
I'll say this, Tom. Tom. I'll say this, Tom. Listen, look, Tom. this is the thing, right? So we've had one of our friends, let's call him one of our sort of streaming friends, turned around recently and said that they won't sort of bother blaming Daniel Levy for what's going on at the club, and they'll blame Paratici instead. And my contention with that is like, well, you can't blame someone else because you don't want to blame the person who's ultimately responsible. That doesn't work. That's a logical fallacy. The point here is that when Danny Rose goes out to the press and he's sort of talking about what's going on at Spurs, the things that he's saying is true, right? We've got to the point now, I think, with our club that we can't rely on anything coming officially from the club to be the truth, to be accurate, to be, substantively truthful. And so we need these sources of information. You know what? I'm proud of Danny Rose for coming out and speaking out like that now, knowing what I know. And especially the way he was treated. He was turned into a fucking pariah by that twat Daniel Levy, right? He didn't play for the better part of 2 years, okay, and was stuck in the reserves for revenge. Yeah? Levy basically punished him because he had the balls to say something. He was, Danny Rose, as far as
in his prime, we had two of the best fullbacks in the league with Kyle Walker and Danny Rose.
Exactly. And Danny, there was nothing. He did have that injury. But the thing about it is that there's nothing to say that he wouldn't have continued doing well after coming back from that injury. But then he did that press thing, and ultimately, if the club wanted a player not to do that, they should act better, in my view. I don't blame Danny at all for that.
I don't think he was doing it for the fact. I don't think he was. I suppose looking on it as fans, it sort of gives us an insight to what's happening. I don't think he saw it that way. I think he's sort of throwing his toys out of the pram. But look, I just don't like anybody.
What was he protesting? What was he protesting? He was essentially protesting the quality of the squad. Essentially, that's what he was protesting.
Got left out some games as well. He was getting left out a few games at that point as well.
But that's not what he was. That's not what his gripe seemed to be. His gripe was the fact that the quality of the squad didn't seem to be particularly good. And do you know what? He's turning around as an employee of an organization and saying the tools that this organization has given me and the team that are here aren't good enough and that they should do better. And that, for me, is fair enough, right? This is Levy. This is what he does. He did it with, I always come back to this. Early on in the Levy tenure, there was a journalist called Matthew Norman, right? Now, Matthew Norman, some people say he's a dick. Some people say he's all right. I'm not going to comment on what kind of person he is, but he wrote a couple of scathing indictments of ENIC's running of the club, right? And in the Evening Standard. And Daniel Levy banned the Evening Standard, London's principal paper at the time, because the Metro didn't exist. He banned the Evening Standard from attending games at White Hart Lane. That is Daniel Levy. That's what he does. Yeah. He takes revenge.
No doubt about it. And we saw what he done with We Are Tottenham as well. We saw what he done with We Are Tottenham. The blacklisting.
Yeah. This is what he does.
William Hill,
and he's not changed. He's not changed in 22 years, right?
Daniel Levy's a wanker. There's no doubt about that. But yeah, I mean, can I just say one more player? Can I just go with one more player? This guy gets often overlooked, and I don't think this one's controversial. Stephen Carr.
Yeah, he upset us. Similar to Robbie Keane. Yeah,
he left us for Newcastle.
To Newcastle, man. Yeah,
he was our captain, and we lost him on a free again. That's the worst thing about Sol Campbell. Of course, they're the scum. But he's a £20 million defender. We've got nothing for him. Stephen Carr, nothing. Our captain's armband.
He was our only decent player, wasn't he? For like one.
He was at that time. Yeah.
He was like, well, do you know Christian's Eagles?
Yeah, he went to Newcastle. He went to Newcastle to win things. How'd that work out for you, Steve?
Yeah, exactly, man. Exactly. I think they won the championship trophy.
Didn't he get relegated with them?
Probably, yeah.
Didn't he get relegated with them at one point? It's like, yeah, great winning.
I know he went to Birmingham. So his career nosedived. Quite.
Whilst we're on the subject of the hatred in your heart, Tommy, is there anyone in the current squad that you don't particularly like?
Delhi's gone. There are not many toxic players left. There really aren't many toxic players left now. I'm trying to think. Yeah. Oh, Dyer. Oh, 100% Dyer. Eric Dyer. Oh, I'm not going to get into this.
Yeah.
Eric Dyer.
Yes. Tommy, I
No,
knew there was a reason I love you. We are of one mind there.
Yes, Kim.
Shit.
Streaming knuckles.
Kim, are you? Do you not like Eric Dyer?
I'm trying to work here, Ed.
I didn't realise. I'm still trying to work out whether Kim likes him or not.
This is more for footballing reasons. Eric Dyer is definitely for more footballing reasons. Definitely.
Harry Winks.
Question, Kim.
Do you know
Dyer or Winks?
But nobody rates Harry Winks. Nobody rates Harry Winks. The Spurs fans, for some reason, always clamour for Eric Dyer.
They're both shit.
No, what I was just as a challenge to Kim and to the panel, right? So,
I think he's a false premise.
if you had to, if you could only get rid of one, would it be Winks or Dyer?
Winks.
It'd be Dyer because of the homegrown thing. Homegrown.
Kim?
We need homegrown players. So I'd get Dyer's Portuguese, isn't he?
If you could only do one.
I think Dyer's a problem in the dressing room. I think Dyer is a problem in the dressing room now.
Dyer
can
can actually contribute to the inner team ethic, team format. Can't he? He can actually contribute to the team. Winks stands out as a weak link.
Points, taking
That's
shits.
true. Dyer is good
games.
at pointing and shouting. Winks
Pointing, shouting,
Winks
taking shits
points and shouts badly.
It's not good.
Next question, Tommy. Your most disliked opposition player, past and present. Is there anyone that you could traditionally you've always hated, and then who do you not like in the current game?
You can't look. Well, obviously, I'm not allowed to mention So if we're going to go with that, present, definitely. I think because it's at the top of my mind, Richarlison. I really dislike Richarlison. Like, he's a bit of a shithouse. He's the sort of player you want on your team, but you don't want to play against him. And Monday, he was in our face for the first two goals. As soon as they went 2-0 down, lackadaisical, couldn't be bothered. And so I really, I don't respect Richarlison. And they're talking about Ronaldo losing Man United and replacing him with Richarlison. Like, what? It's insanity. Absolute insanity. But past, there are so many. So many. Let me go through it. Oh, Pires.
Yeah, I hate Pires.
He walks.
Do you remember
even
Rosicky, Arshavin? I fucking hate Arshavin. I used
to hate Reyes. He was such a cheating bastard. Yeah. Anytime anyone went near him, I used to call him Bambi on ice because he used to just go down and dive and win a foul, didn't he?
Can I make a suggestion, Johnny?
Rest in peace,
Johnny. Go on. Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
With this specific question, I think what we need to do is actually split it into things. Your most hated Arsenal player, past and present, right? Yeah. And then any other opposition. So then, so our guests, because otherwise all we'll do is end up naming Arsenal players, and then you've got to think of others.
Yeah, the Arsenals.
I think that might be the thing. So can we ask that of Tommy now? So who is your most hated Arsenal player, past and present, and then who is your most hated non-Arsenal player, past and present?
There you go.
Of course, past is Pires. Present, they're doing all right again this season, aren't they? They're doing all right.
Which of the scum suckers don't you like, though?
Lacazette.
Smith-Rowe.
It's got to be
Lacazette's a bit of a twat. Lacazette's a bit of a twat.
Granit Xhaka, he's our man. Granit Xhaka.
I want him. Yeah, I like him. I like him in their team. I quite
like Xhaka because he fucks them over all the time.
He's a
weirdo. I want him in their team. I want him in the team.
Granit Xhaka is a weirdo. He wears a weirdo hat.
It would have been Kolasinac as well, but he's gone. Kolashinac's gone.
A boomerang.
So,
he was
I've got to go Lacazette because Lacazette thinks he's much better than he is. And I think he's got one Premier League goal this season or two. and he's coming
Yeah,
when he gets subbed
Alexandra.
off. When he's coming
we,
he's screaming at the players, come on. You need to score goals, mate. You're a striker, you need to score goals. Who you having a go at? Like,
can we just take a minute?
Alexandra lack a threat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can we just take?
Yes.
Can we just take a minute to for a minute's silence for Thierry Henry's Premiership goal scoring record? Bong, 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 bong.
I feel like we should end the last 30 seconds with bagpipes.
Yeah, it's as it is National Bagpipe Day in honour of Harry Kane surpassing. There he goes. He's above him now.
And
the amount of
level is tight in his sights as well.
And the amount of piss it's boiling with the Gooners.
Yeah. Drop down the charts, you bunch of scum.
Absolutely.
Love
Tommy,
you, Arsenal fans. Love you.
Tommy, if you could go back in time to experience one famous game from Spurs history, which one would it be?
100%. 100. Which would it be? That was
100%. 100%.
What would it be, Tommy?
Let me think. I was just trying.
Do tell.
I don't know. All right, it was. I was trying to think of the score. Yeah, it wasn't 3-2. It was 4-3. Spurs West Ham. 4-3 Spurs West Ham. The Stale Terry winner. Oh
yeah.
Man. Do you know what was so great about that? It was the Berbatov free kick. On the line of the box. There are two men.
Still put it there.
Either side of the post, near post, far post. The most lackadaisical effort. Just bomb.
I don't know. Yeah,
It wasn't even powerful.
Yeah.
It wasn't even powerful.
No,
brilliant.
It was perfectly placed. Yeah, the defender. I don't know who the defender was, but the defender. It almost like went between the top of the defender's head and the bar.
Insane.
It was beautiful. It was
a little bit like Leicester, wasn't it? When we equalised, we were like, yes, we'll take a point. Amazing. Yeah. And then Stalteri does that from a rebound and gets us the 3 points.
Absolutely.
And the Sky commentator was gutted, wasn't he? He's like, oh no.
Yeah.
I don't fucking want Tony Gale ever commentating any of our games. Tony Gale is a cunt. That's it.
Oh, now here you go, Tommy. Tony Gale's actually a nice fellow. We met him at Tottenham once in the Beehive.
No.
He was drinking in the Beehive before one of the games, and we thought the same as you. We thought he was a cunt, and then he was a really nice guy, really lovely guy.
Do you remember football first? Do you remember football first when there wasn't the streaming highlight situation?
Yeah.
You could sort of press the red button and watch all the games at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
He used to always commentate on the Spurs games and always slate us. Any chance he got, he was slating us. So that's where my stick comes from.
To be fair, Glenn Hoddle does that.
No, he does.
When he commentates on Spurs games, doesn't he? He's really critical.
Yeah, but Rez, his is confirmation bias because he doesn't want to be seen as being biased to Tottenham, so he's a bit too much the other way, isn't he?
Overcompensates. Yeah.
Tommy, would you like to know what my famous game is?
No. Moving on.
Okay.
Go on. Go on, Baz.
The 1991 Cup semi-final.
FA Cup semi-final, yeah. That's a classic, yeah.
Classic game.
People Spurs scoring from all angles.
I wish I watched Gascoigne. I wish I could see Gascoigne.
So does Alan. he missed it. Speaking of Ben's comment on the screen there, this is why I don't do fantasy football, Ben, because I just can't want other opposition players. I was saying to Barry the other day, he set one up. I just don't want opposition players to do well, so I can't get on board with fantasy football because I can't be wishing other players to get points and goals and stuff. So I'm like, can't do it.
Weirdly, I hate Gabriel Jesus because he always looks like a member of his family has been killed, and he's in grief over something, right? I've never seen him look pleased about anything, and it's like you get all this money, right? Your team has bought all your trophies for you. What do you have to be upset about? But it's always like, on the verge of tears. I really
Kevin's
don't like
fair,
that.
He's probably the only natural striker, and he still doesn't get game time.
Doesn't play out front, does he? They play him with the wing. That sums it up, doesn't
Yeah, exactly.
it? The only natural
That's
striker.
the only natural striker they play on the wing. There you go.
That's his too bad. Go to another club.
You
You don't have to play for Man City.
We were in for him. Apparently we were talking. Was it Harry Kane plus Laporta and Gabriel Jesus in the summer?
Yeah, that wouldn't come to us.
There was something like that, but
Tommy, I need to get back to my Parkinson, mate. Tommy, which player got you the most excited when you first heard the news of their signing?
Helder Postiga.
Really?
Yeah, because it was our record signing, and it was on CFAX. It was on CFAX. It was highlighted in bright green, and I was like, 6.25 million. 6.25 million. This is going to be a.
That's a deal. That's a steal. It's a deal of the fucking century.
I think we signed Zamora the same window as well. We signed Zamora the same window as well. Yeah.
I always remember that Postiga. It was the North London derby. I think it was either his second or third game, and he went round the keeper. And if that had gone in, I think he hit the post or it got cleared off the line. If that had gone in, his career might have taken a sliding doors moment. It might have.
I think when you're growing up, strikers, you focus on strikers, don't you? When you're young, and it was Soldado as well. When you saw Soldado's goal scoring record, you're like, "Whoa, we've got something here. We've got something here." Went to shit again.
Your Gordon Juries. I remember when Gordon Jury was our big money signing. 91, 92, 91. Was it the 91 season? Barry, Alan, would you like to put in the comments whether that was the 91 season?
I'll find out.
Alan's favourite season.
It was our first ever scorer in the Premier League, wasn't he? Gordon Jury.
I think he was. I believe he was. Yeah.
I only know that because of my excellent educational quizzes that take place.
Yeah. What was it? Which country eats McDonald's on Boxing Day? What's the answer?
So he moved to Spurs in 1991. So that would have been the 91-92 season.
The year of the owl.
Yeah.
So what was the answer? Who eats McDonald's on Boxing Day? Can you remember your knowledge from Tommy's show?
There's not McDonald's.
I don't even remember.
KFC. That's what's throwing Reslick. He's like, it's actually KFC, not McDonald's. That's why I'm not going to dignify. That's why I'm not going to dignify you with a response.
Shall I do my eyebrow?
Yeah.
Should we do?
Rock. You're going full rock there.
Carlo Ancelotti.
Alan, step away from the wall, Alan.
What's he done?
I'm still punching the wall.
Alan, Japan.
Why are you punching the wall, Alan? You shouldn't be.
Yeah, why? Can you put in the comments why you're punching the wall, Alan? Please let the viewing millions know.
It's not good for you.
From 1991 semi-final to which part of the old White Hart Lane did you used to prefer to sit or stand in, Tommy? Was there any particular area you always wanted to book tickets in and you liked going to, your favourite area?
When I went, I was never a season ticket holder, so I got the rubbish seats. I always got the real rubbish seats next to people that didn't even blink or nobody that was cheering. I was screaming. I'm like screaming, and then on the row there's no one doing anything. So I think I was on the lower south stand. Lower south stand was something special. Only a few times. I was usually stuck up there. So yeah.
I tried getting the stream going in one of the executive boxes once, Tommy. I got chucked out. We mentioned this on the stream recently. I still
miss the massive queues. Yeah, I still miss the massive queues and the doors sort of held up with blue tape.
To be fair, the queues are still massive now.
Yeah.
There's not been that much of a change in the queuing of things. I mean, it's going to be the same, isn't it?
But sorry, box story. How did you get in the box anyway, Johnny? Like, that's mad.
We knew someone that did printing for Tottenham, and as a favour he had a liaison at the club, and they were called Terry and Jean. I always remember it because of the sitcom with Terry and Jean. And I called the referee a cunt in the box, and this June woman looked at me like I just shot her puppy or something. Didn't think anything more of it, and I got banned. Brian got an email on Monday morning said that due to the colourful language of certain guests, they're not welcome in the box anymore. And I was like, you cheeky bitch, he's invited you along for the day in the executive box as a treat, and you've grassed me up like that. Terrible. I think Gazza was involved as well, so it's his fault, not mine.
that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, not the actual Gazza, but Gazza who does the stream. Gareth.
Where are you, Gazza?
He's watching with a tinny. He's watching with a tinny, mate.
Ah, lovely.
Before we move on, Tommy, what did you think of the Shane Warne news? Where were you when you heard it? Got him, wasn't it?
Oh, mate, yeah, I'm a huge cricket fan. It's depressing when I'm in the background. I'm watching Leach, Bo, and
it's bowling. How's he still there?
Depressing. Well, we don't produce spinners, do we?
How can you mention Leach when we just brought up Shane Warne as well?
I know, but no, I'm saying it's more
the best spinner in the world ever to the worst spinner in the world ever.
I feel like crying.
Can I just raise one very weird point? Do you know what, Tommy? I know you've mentioned to me, and I've heard you say a lot that you love cricket, but you never come across as a cricket fan. I find it hard to believe that you love cricket. I don't know why. It's really weird. I know that Nick loves it. I know that. No. I believe that you do, but it seems so incongruous. I don't understand why. It's really weird.
I've watched more cricket than I've watched football over the years. Easily. But then, to be fair, Test cricket is 8 hours a day. 5 days a week. 5 days, 8 hours, 8 hours a day. It's a great background sport. Cricket. It's the best background sport. You don't have to watch every ball. You literally don't have to watch every ball. I'm not a fan of 2020 stuff. I'm really not. It's just not for me.
As Ian Botham calls it, it's Mickey Mouse cricket.
Yeah, it's not for me. But Shane Warne, oh my God, 52.
Yeah, man.
Do you know? I stayed in a villa in Thailand, Koh Samui. That's where he's found. Koh Samui. Great, wonderful place. But watch out for the barbecues, because if you think it's chicken or beef, it's 90% it's liver, and you want to stay away from that.
Or human.
Times liver, human or dog. Dog.
Dog.
Asia, yeah, they do go mad for that sort of stuff in Asia, don't they? Yeah. Yeah. But stay away from the barbecues, because 90% of it looks like chicken, but it's liver. It's liver.
Guys,
stay away.
Protein is protein, all right?
I don't know what that word means, Rez. I'm a vegetarian. What is protein? No idea.
Protein, baby.
Tommy, what was the loudest and best atmosphere you experienced at the Old Lane? Any games in particular you can remember where you thought the lane is rocking tonight?
Do you know what it was? It was, this is going to sound crazy, but it was at home against Bournemouth, right? But Jack Wilshere was playing for Bournemouth on loan. And it was booming. Like, whenever he got on the ball, it was madness. It was, we're all having a party. We're all having a party. We're all having a party. But Jack Wilshere dies. That was going on for about like 20 minutes on a bounce. And do you know what? He literally, with the most innocuous touch of an opposition player, went off in the 60th minute. We found out.
Didn't he?
He broke his fucking leg. Honestly,
he limped off. He was giving it all beans in the papers all week about how he, it wasn't going to bother him and stuff, and he limped off. Got injured again, didn't he? Even for Bournemouth.
Most innocuous challenge.
He's flying high in the Danish league now.
League,
yeah.
Our Danish
anyone but Tottenham, Jack? Anyone but Tottenham, right?
Our Danish footballing correspondent is currently on a sabbatical, so we can't ask him how he's getting on.
If
you are watching, put in the comments how Wilshere is getting on in Denmark. Oh yeah, you should have said Wilshere earlier for most hated player.
I have said Pires over Wilshere?
It's almost no, but do you know what? It's because it's so obvious.
Yeah,
that's it.
You hate Wilshere.
I might even add him to the question, Rez. Apart from Arsenal and Wilshere.
Yes. 100%.
And Chesney, the holy trinity of wankers.
They really are, especially, I mean, Wilshere, I can't, it's very difficult to, Arsehole is a class apart, right? He's just, you look at him and you sort of see and hear some of the things he said. And in a way, you can understand that he has the personality to do something like that. So it's sort of, it fits that almost sociopathic approach that he has.
Do you remember that tweet?
Some of the stuff he's done, like what he did to I think it was Macclesfield, where when they were taken to the High Court for whatever reason during their sort of collapse, he was one of the complainants, even though he contributed to the fact that they, couldn't sustain themselves any further, right? And it's like there are people out there who deserve their money more than you do, right? And yet he was one of the first in the queue. So you can sort of understand him being that psychopathic that he wouldn't give a shit about Spurs fans. And
do you remember, Rez, once I've just reminded me that he was wanting to run for London Mayor once?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean,
the man's a fucking idiot.
He's that type. Whereas you would imagine, and I'm giving them a lot of credit, that Chesney Hawkes, i.e. or however you pronounce it, and Gisney, I prefer Gisney. Gisney or Jack Wilshere, they would at least be relatively human, scum though they are. They're just such unlikable people, to go with it. It's got nothing to do with their arsenal. They're just unlikable. The way that Gisney made a fool of himself trying to sort of take the piss out of us, and his career went into the toilet where it belonged, stuff like that makes them really unlikable. Whereas Arsehole is just a complete class apart,
I'm so glad that Norwegian club signed him, because I saw a couple of adverts with him on Sky Sports, I'm not sure if you saw him, with Jack Wilshere. I was like, please don't let him be the next Neville Carragher type. Like, we're going to see him week in, week out. You can have, thank God.
Yeah, what kind of punditry is he going to do? Have you ever heard him speak? No, he's thick as pig shit. He's thick as pig shit. There's nothing there. Micah Richards is more entertaining and insightful than Jack Wilshere ever could be.
Oh, Ledley, Harris has only got one knee. We have to start calling you Ledley, Alan.
Yeah.
Oh, Ledley.
It's my Beagle's favourite colour. We've already talked about this earlier, Alan, why you're wearing red. Yeah. And where are you, Alan? Where are you, man?
Yeah, where are you, Alan? Get your ass in.
Where are you?
Come on, Alan.
Come on, Alan. Come on, Alan. No, I swear it's Alan. Tommy, back to my Parkinson. If you could have scored one famous goal in Spurs history, which one would it have been and why?
In terms of the brilliance of it, just the sheer brilliance of it, I've got to say, when I think of brilliant goals, this is one of the first that enters my mind, which is crazy, but Timothy Atuba. I hate Newcastle. I hate Newcastle. That's what it is. Stephen Carr. I do not like Newcastle. So do you remember that? Timothy Atuba? It's the only thing he ever done for the club.
He chopped back inside and then curled up his right foot in the top bins.
And I think that was like second game in the season or first game in the season. I was like, we've got a left back here. And yeah, it's safe to say it didn't work out.
I saw a really, really world-class top footballer the other day, and they said, what is one of the greatest things you can say about your football career? And he said, playing with Timothy Atuba, because he said the guy was fucking nuts and you didn't know what he was going to do on the pitch. He'd like try nuts in someone on the edge of his own box or try to step over.
Absolute screamer though, and I would love to score against Newcastle. I'm
gonna find out how it was. I'll just quickly take over the festivities here while I try and find out.
Let me look up because I don't have
Timothy Atuba. If you just Google Timothy Atuba, and you'll see the guy that mentions the comment. So that's the goal you scored it from all our history of all our league wins and UEFA Cup wins.
Yeah, I hate Newcastle. So I'm going to two.
Bloody Geordie gets. Your favourite match day pub? Which pub do you like to go to before the game? So those stalkers can find you again. If they might not know your surname, but they'll still be able to find you in the pub after finding Barry in the North Middlesex Hospital car park.
I'm always late. So I never go to a pre-match pub. It's always after. And it's like the number 8. So I'll go with a pub down here. It's called the Amber Lynn.
There you go.
Because that's my
West Ham pub.
That'll be my match day pub Saturday. That'll be my match day pub Saturday for Spurs Man United. The Anne Boleyn. Never eat there though. Never eat there. It's like 1.5 out of 5. So just get your beers. Yeah, I can't. Never eat there. It's probably his rat or I'm not sure. There are a lot of rats.
You'll go in, Tommy, and said, "Oh, what were you saying on that stream on Thursday night?
You fucking what, Tommy?
Yeah. Are we spitting? Yeah. He's spitting in your burgers.
Yes. You fucking what, son?
Well.
1.5.
Look what Aaron has voted for in number 1. The ghost goal in Alan Harris world.
I know nobody would have chose Toby. I know nobody would have chose a tuba. Got to think outside the box.
You have.
I can't find that thing, Johnny. I can't find the quote.
Timothy Tuba. Oh well.
Timothy a tuba.
I think I'd have loved to have scored Hoddle's goal. Actually, Aaron, that second one there. That's just a goal that
Ginola's goal against Barnsley.
Yeah, the magnifique. Is it le magnifique, not le magnifique?
This is a hard one. What's the best Arsenal score? Goal. What's the greatest Arsenal goal? Do you think, just in terms of skill?
Well, it'll be an own goal for certain.
I have to say, Bergkamp against Newcastle.
Did he mean it?
I've got to say, and it was
Tommy
against
hates Newcastle. Yeah, Tommy hates Newcastle.
So that was insane, wasn't it? That was up there with the That was bloody insane.
Yeah.
That was insane.
But the thing is, it's a well-known scientific fact that every single goal that Arsenal score is lucky. None of it is done with any skill. It's a fluke. Every one of them.
I had this argument with one of them yesterday. He was going, "I can't believe they've been moaning on Sky Sports all week about the Arteta passing the ball to our player that threw it in." And I said, "Can we just take a step back there? Arteta, who passed it to your player who did a foul throw before you scored your goal, and they haven't mentioned that on the Sky Sports at all."
No.
It's like, what? I said, yeah, they keep showing it. I said, yeah, if you notice, they keep cutting after the throw in or showing an angle where they can't actually see the guy's feet where he's got 1 foot off the ground. So the foul throw that you scored, you go, "Oh yeah, but it was such a good goal, so it should have been allowed to stand." Or that's how it works now, is it?
Because it's a good goal. That's not how rules work, you brain-dead moron.
Or Mbappe's were listed last night. That was a similar goal to Hoddle's in many respects, the kind of way he used his body to just let the ball run past the keeper. Have you seen that one, Tommy? The disallowed goal Mbappe scored last night?
I was streaming at the same time, so I missed it.
Check it out, man. Check it out. He was offside, but he sent the keeper for an ice cream, didn't he?
What that result was, though. PSG 2-0 up on aggregate. No, they were cruising. They were completely in control.
No,
I
never thought they were in control of that game.
Well, all right, we might disagree on that, but
we'll do a Rez's rant.
Seems to be and just to come out of nowhere and take the tie, that's.
And poor old Poch and us, we've been punched all day about it, haven't we? Old typical Poch, he can take him out of Tottenham. But hang on a minute. There's no way Pochettino has been able to instill his style and mythology on that team, because you're not going to get Neymar, Mbappe, and Messi pressing the ball so the whole team falls down when they don't press from the front. So he was destined to fail. But you'd have all taken the job for the money. 6 months working with Messi, 18 months maybe. There's no way he's going to succeed there.
You've got to manage egos, haven't you? Real Madrid and PSG.
PSG was his team. That's the team he played for. He has a connection with them. So.
But his style of football, though, Tommy, there's no way he was going to be able to instill that on that group of players, was there? So if you don't have what your strength with you in that, in the project, that you're destined to fail, aren't you? Because there's no way.
If a meticulous manager, a manager who's sort of attention to detail like Tuchel can't do it, and that's not me giving Tuchel any credit as a manager. I'm just saying that's the way he plays, that's the way he works. If they're not going to respond to him, they're not going to respond to anyone.
No.
Neymar is notorious for being one of the most selfish footballers on earth, and it extends to his career. Everything he does is for himself alone. He doesn't think about the team, and to my mind, that doesn't make him a footballer. That makes him someone, who can use a football well, but that's not a footballer. A footballer plays for the team, not for himself.
Anytime anyone tries applying any discipline to his game, he throws his toys out and leaves, doesn't he? For someone else, they can go and do his flicks and tricks without having to do any teamwork.
Yeah, I mean, do you know what the weird thing is? That Neymar was at Sao Paulo with Lucas Moura, right? And for all of his skill and all of his talent, right, with the football, Lucas Moura is a better footballer.
Yeah,
because he plays for his team. Yeah, he doesn't just play for himself.
He's not playing for anyone at the moment. He's on the bench, and he's Conte's bench support bugger.
But he's still there. He's still available. That's still playing. That's still contributing to the team, right? Would you imagine Neymar being on the subs bench?
No,
that being happy about it
was dedicated to Scott M.
Yeah.
Your last.
Hold on, one sec. Whoa, hold on. Yeah, that was Scott's head exploding. I heard it.
Your last question, Tommy. It's been an inspirational, emotional few hours. 1 hour and 20 minutes, in fact.
For me too.
Which 3 guests from Tottenham, past or present? This is a new question, by the way. Would you invite to your ideal dinner party? You got not necessarily people you want to meet, but who would be good dinner party guests, tell good stories, or maybe you just want to meet them, introduce your dog to their leg, you know.
You definitely had that written down. Right? So I'd have to have Roman Pavlyuchenko would have to be there because he was a complete G. Nice. He was a complete G, Roman Pavlyuchenko. I think he's like a fisherman now. He's got
Tommy, we're not allowed to support Russians at the moment. Can you?
Yeah, no, that's
change your answer.
He put a really sweet tweet out. He put a really sweet tweet out in that regard. He's like supporting Ukraine in that. So yeah, he was. Some of the stories you heard with Pavlyuchenko, like when he first showed up, Harry Redknapp, he had a translator tell him what to do. Yeah, he had a translator to tell him how to train, basically, run up and down the pitch. Like Harry Redknapp would give him an order, and the translator would tell Pavlyuchenko what he's got to do.
He said that the translator ran more than Pavlyuchenko. He said, "Was you going to pick the translator? He ran around more than Pavlyuchenko."
I'll definitely take him. I'll definitely take Pav.
The translator probably thought that Harry was giving him instruction.
Yeah. What? Yeah.
But
I'll take Stefan Freund. I'll take Stefan Freund because he would not get on with Pavlyuchenko. There would be a fist fight, the exact opposite. Someone who gives everything to the cause. So yeah, you'd have a fist fight, and I want someone a little bit calmer to sort of.
Who's cracking your gags? Who's the gagsmith?
Yeah. I think Robbie Keane would be decent at that.
Actually,
are you insinuating that all Irish people are?
Yeah, I do want to.
Robbie Keane could be your thing. Robbie Keane could be the fist fight guy because didn't he punch Edgar Davids once?
Are you insinuating that all Russian people do bare knuckle fighting, Rez?
Yeah.
Since when is Robbie Keane Russian?
Right.
Irish,
yeah, I'm chucking. He's one of my heroes as well, so I'm chucking Keane in there. I'm chucking Keane in there.
So who's your 3? Summarise for us.
Norwich have pulled one back. Guys.
And that's pulled one back, not pulled one off, Tommy. Okay.
Okay, thanks.
He's got that written down.
I haven't got that written down either.
West Indies are on 368 for 8, and Boner has got 100. He's got a century.
Ah, dear.
Boner.
I'm trying to run a Tottenham stream here, boys, and you're going about bloody Norwich and the West Indies and wanking
and peanut butter or jam,
diamond lights and bloody
dogs prefer peanut butter or jam on their genitalia.
This is Shelf Side Spurs. This is what we do.
Modus operandi.
Can you get crunchy jam? Right.
Yes.
Yeah. If
peanut
you
butter or jam,
with the lid off. Leave it with the lid off for a while in the oven.
Crunchy jam. I'll see if my dog.
I don't know if I can show this comment after Tommy's called all Irish people good humoured and funny. Rez has said they're all
No.
bare knuckle fighters, and now
No, I
Aaron's
didn't.
coming out with this. Robbie Keane was a legendary Carthy in his youth.
I said Robbie Keane punched Edgar Davids once, so he would be good in a fist fight. Not that all Irish people. I mean, if every single
I think if you
Irish
rewind it, that was a
person
direct
had
quote.
punched
All
Edgar
Irish
Davids,
people
yeah,
are bare
maybe.
knuckle fighters.
Cody's clipped it, Rez. Don't worry.
Yeah. Robbie Keane was a legendary Carthy in his youth.
I'm being
How do you
misconstrued.
say that, Aaron?
I'm being misconstrued.
Talent.
Google. I'm going to Google this.
Talot.
More peanut butter on genitalia talk, less Lucas Moura talk. Why, Scott? What could ever be
Love
the reason?
Lucas. Scott is a Lucas Moura sexual, hasn't he?
Lucas is a fucking G. Lucas is a fucking G.
No. Do you know what? I'm sorry. I'm going to take issue. I'm going to take issue with Scott. I know you don't like Lucas Moura. I know you don't like him.
Really?
And I didn't say he was better in terms of skill with a ball. That's not what I said. I said he is a better footballer, because a footballer is not just about skill. It's about how hard he works, and it's also about what he contributes to the team. Neymar plays for himself. Lucas Moura plays for his team. That makes him a better footballer. Not a more skillful footballer, but a better footballer. Yeah?
Rez, it's more
So
important.
I'm taking issue on that one.
Did you say Russia or Iraq? Did you say Russia or Iraq earlier? Because what is going on in the chat?
Yeah, Russia is Rez. Can you read that squiggly stuff, or shall I ban him? Or
No, ban him. Yeah, ban him completely. I can't. I would have done it already by now. But I'm on Kim's machine, so I can't. I've got no.
Basically, it meant something happened in 1921 and in 1950.
I can't read it. Yeah, it's in Arabic, so it's not. I don't speak Arabic. I can read Farsi, but slowly. But I can't read Arabic.
Tommy, Rez is from Iran, and that's Iraq, making disgusting comments about war, I imagine.
Yeah.
Well, there were incidents in Iraq's history in that sort of period, I think. But it's not relevant. It won't be relevant.
No, it's not relevant to this stream. But then again, when did that ever stop us?
Yeah. But at the same time, ours is light-hearted, you know. And
speaking of gentle and light-hearted, Rez.
Yes, absolutely. I've said it before.
Just gently, smooth.
Yeah, a mouse. Look, guys, this is the thing. Okay, we live in a world in which we have a lot of disposable sort of technology and so forth. But we should look after our mouses.
Mice.
Who wants to go to the problem? Who wants to go to the trouble of buying another mouse if you happen to break it? So really, just very, very gently click the like and subscribe buttons.
Not forgetting the notification bell.
Not forgetting the notification bell. Joy will come to you for doing that, because you will be able to know when we're going to be on our rambles.
Talking about Norwich, the West Indies, Iraq,
in the Netscape. Absolutely.
The 1991 FA Cup semi-final.
Education.
I think that we need to all come together and have a campaign against the smashing of things.
Ban smash that like. Yeah.
Ban smashing.
No,
just ban smashing in general. Yeah. And we should come together and gently click these things, I think.
Yeah.
I think.
But Rez,
gentle clicking.
I have a question, Rez. But did you smash it?
Did you smash it?
Sorry. Did I what?
It
smash what?
Was banter.
Ah, yes, true. But do you know what? I found that subscribe buttons on web pages, they don't quite understand the concept of banter being an inanimate object created by a human being.
By Richard Keys.
By Richard Keys.
Unlike Richard Keys, I would say. And so, I think smashing them is just an unnecessary procedure.
Ben's come out with a good use of our new hashtag, caress the trackpad. Instead of smash that like, I like it. Caress that trackpad. Come on. Caress that
the
trackpad.
subscribe button. Caress the subscribe button, I think I would say.
Yeah.
Caress it.
Caress
Caress
that trackpad.
You know, just sort of gently make your presence felt to the subscribe button. You know, you don't have to go in hard every
Tommy's
time.
looking well and truly
necessary.
zoned out there. He's like, hello, darkness.
He's
my
looking-
When
old
you say
friend."
when you're
He's
saying
back on.
smashing that, I'm just glad the dog thing didn't come up because I was waiting for it.
You brought it up.
We can bring that up if you
No, I
want.
was just waiting for it.
We can bring it
my,
up if you want, mate. Tommy, what do you think about? What do you think
We've got through.
Tommy,
We've
what do you
got
think
through
of-
a segment
what do you think
without
of dog sex?
mentioning dogs.
Tom, what do you think of dog
What?
sex?
Overrated.
Hang on, Rez. You need to wait till his eyes go up to the top corner, and that's
Oh,
when he's
that's
like,
true. Yeah.
"Ah."
There he goes. There he goes.
We had a game in the week.
We did.
Monday night, in fact. We won. We only went and bloody won, didn't we?
And Tommy didn't print out his tickets and had to run or something. I don't really understand what his excuse was for not meeting for a beer, but you know.
Well,
Trains.
I thought I had a digital pass to go through, and then it was a printout, which I just realised last minute. No digital pass, so I had to sprint to an internet cafe, sprint to the stadium, and I had basically I nearly passed out. I nearly passed out.
Would have done it for you.
Yeah.
ticket
No, I
office
tried
would
that
have done it
before.
for you.
I tried that before. They said no, we're not having it.
No.
That costs Levy paper and ink, Res. If they can't have people thinking
Yeah.
No,
they can
can't
go
have
there
it.
and
They don't give
yeah,
that out
yeah.
for free.
free paper and ink.
The one thing I'll say, the ticket office staff are really lovely. They really are. They're really, really helpful when you got a problem. I know
Just don't like Tommy.
work. Yeah, I know that they're ultimately working. They're ultimately working for a poisonous twat. But
they're
they
lovely human
themselves-
beings.
Yeah,
They
but
are
they
human
themselves are lovely, lovely people. You
You
know?
say they're
It's
human
unfortunate.
beings, Nick, but they wouldn't help Tommy print his ticket.
No. And
You
for
didn't
me, Rez,
ask.
if
Yes,
they
you
were
are.
nice people, Rez, they would have printed Tommy's ticket.
Did you
They wouldn't
assume,
have done that.
Tommy? You know what assume does? It makes an arse of you and me.
Don't talk about arses. He'll get horny about dogs' arses. Come on.
That's true. That's true.
They wouldn't. They wouldn't do it for
Why
me.
would
I'm
they not?
disappointed.
Unless Tommy
I'm
has
Look, this
acquired a
this
ticket
message
on
by
the-
Aaron.
you know.
This message by Aaron, man.
Now, let me
I was
bring it
gonna
up
use
for you.
this. I was going to use this.
Let me bring it up for
my
you.
next quiz.
Which
I was
one?
going to use this. Mouse related. This was going to be
Oh,
one of my
that?
quiz questions. Yeah, and he's ruined it.
Well done, Aaron. A lot of time for that, mate. We've got a bot there as well, LJ. A little Pesman cast.
Yeah, we've got a bot in there. Sorry, mate. Yeah.
Must
I
have
would
been-
have think that.
That must be because we've achieved over 250 subscribers.
Yeah, we're getting hit by spammers
It's a good
now.
thing.
We've
It's a good thing.
we've
It's
reached
definitely a good
that
thing.
zenith of subscribers that we get.
It's an
more and more.
achievement. It's an
That's
achievement.
4 or
We
5,
now-
isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, we can't monetize, but we can attract.
Iraqi
what's it called?
dictators. Even Ben was there for pre-match drinks, Tommy. Not to shame you
Yeah.
even further.
Do you know what? Can I just ask this? When I was outside the ground, there was a bloke going around saying, it was free flags. I wasn't sure. Is it free flags? As in these are free, or he's selling free flags, number 3? Do you know anything
What?
about that? I don't know what that crap's about. Did you just see some ticket
No.
owners? So I thought you might have a clue.
Oh, he gives away
What
free
about them?
flags
Did they actually
occasionally.
give away free flags? Actually give away
Yeah,
free flags?
sometimes.
They've done, yeah, like certain events. They'll like at the 125th anniversary game, for instance.
He was
they
doing it the
had
other day.
flags on
He was
there.
doing it the other day, and I was
They had
like,
flags at the
right.
finale.
I was
They
like,
had
free
flags at
flags
the
or
finale.
free for a fiver? I'm like, they free up free for a fiver. I'm like, no, so it's like,
Yes, like, yeah. Kim just said it's like 4 candles.
4 candles.
4 candles, yeah. Great.
Do we want to talk about the Everton game? Or they've all been done to death on all the other streams, isn't it? Really?
Done to death, I think.
We should do. I think
We
it's
should do.
fair. We should. We are a Tottenham stream. You
we
know.
like
Yeah.
talking about losses more, don't we? We certainly
Yeah.
like talking about losses,
Well-
don't we?
Let's get our game heads back on then. We'll start. We'll go around the panel. So Baswar, Hugo. What did you make of
Basil
Hugo's
Ford.
performance?
Basil
Basil for Drakeford himself.
He didn't have to do anything, I don't think. So he just could have sat there with a deck chair all night, if I'm honest. Yeah, Yeah, so that was about it. He didn't really do anything or need to do anything. So
no,
a few ropey kicks, but then that's standard, isn't it?
Yeah. I'd rather it was a few ropey kicks than a few drop balls or palming it out when he should have caught it. So
Resmond, you got the doc.
Yeah.
Nice good one for you there.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I cannot believe that was the Matt Doherty that we have seen up until now. It was a completely different player, you know. I said it while he was playing. I mean, look, it's 2 games that he's played well, right? This idea that he's turned the corner and is now going to be delivering, there's no evidence for that. 2 games is not enough. But what I will say is that the possibility certainly exists that under Mourinho, he was being played as a right back, which is not really his position. Under Mason, he was being played as a right back, which isn't really his position. Under Nuno, ironically, he was played as a right back, which isn't his position. He made his name as a right wing back. And the irony being he did that under Nuno. Maybe, possibly, playing as a right wing back for Conte may see him replicate what we saw him able to do for Wolves, which was impressive. Okay. Now, I don't know. This is just speculation. It might just be he's had 2 good games and that the 2 good games are the blip. And what we've seen of him up until now is actually the norm, is the default. And he's just had 2 good games. But in the same way that people defend Emerson by saying he was brought in as a right back, not a right wing back, doesn't that apply to Doherty as well? So we'll see. Let's see him as a right wing back more. He's certainly in the last couple of games earned the spot ahead of Emerson Royale.
And there's more importantly than anything, Rez, he's not Emerson Royale.
Yeah,
frustrates
exactly.
the fuck out of me when he's playing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, I've said it before. Emerson Royale may turn out to be one of the best fullbacks ever to grace a football field.
No.
Right? But he isn't that right now. Yeah?
It's highly unlikely.
He isn't that right now. Okay? And we are not a team that can be hoping for players to come good. We need decent players now. Yeah? Whether or not that's Doherty, I'm not saying is or isn't, but Emerson Royale 100% is not that
answer.
right now.
He's not the answer. Doc might be the answer.
Maybe.
Emerson Royale is not the answer.
Isn't. Yeah, exactly.
Tommy, you got a nice...
against Everton, brilliant. Against Everton, absolutely brilliant.
Tommy, you got a nice good one as well, Romero.
Yeah, I mean, the back line, like Hugo, they weren't really tested at all, were they? It was complete dominance. We see a lot from wing-backs in this system, you know. So, you know, even though they're classed as defenders, the way we played wing-backs, as, you know, Rez rightly put, you know, Doherty was fantastic. The back three really very, very rarely in danger of conceding goals. And Romero, he came off again, which worries me. He's had a few injury niggles, hasn't he? He was out for a couple of months.
It's because he got booked nailing your mate, didn't he? Richarlison. He absolutely smashed him.
That was wicked, wasn't it? I was going to mention that. Yeah. That was wicked. That was wicked.
Did you see his Insta?
Well. I hate Richarlison.
He was going, I got the ball. He's like nowhere near the ball when the ball had gone.
But did you guys see his Insta post? For the game, it was a shot of Richarlison lying on the ground, sort of groaning and stuff, and him standing with the referee and the ref holding up the yellow card, and at the bottom it said Everton was it called Spurs 5, Everton 0. It was great.
Lovely.
He's a proper shithouse, that boy. He's a
Argentina
proper
versus Brazil. I do love it, but he's got to be careful of getting bookings early in games, especially against bigger clubs, because if they get in behind and you've got a yellow card, you're going to pull someone back and get a sending off, or you're going to leave them and they're going to get through. So you got to get smart yellow cards these days, haven't you? So when a player's, you know, going through on goal. As long as it's not last, you pull them back, don't you? Collini and Bonucci are the masters of it. Collini and Bonucci are the absolute masters of that. They don't have pace. So getting the early bookings can be problematic. Everton, we got away with it, and we love that shithousery, don't we? As we all rightly agree, and we love that shithousery. But these little injury niggles and set pieces. I watched games back, and I've seen him from set pieces. He struggles, Ramiro. He really has struggled recently. But I think that's the organisation of the back three more than anything. Nobody knows what they're doing. The wing backs don't know what they're fully doing yet. Hopefully, 2 wins against Everton and Leeds, 2 clean sheets in the Premier League. Hopefully, things are going to be fixed slightly. But Ramiro was solid as ever, and I love him. Good on the ball as well. Very, very good on the ball.
Yeah, he is. Basilford. You've got Eric Dyer.
Tommy's favourite player.
Thank fuck I'm not here. Thank fuck I haven't got this.
And Kim's favourite player.
Kim, did you want to take on Eric Dyer? Not in that way, but in the player review.
Does Kim want to take on Eric Dyer?
Kim said Kim politely declines your invitation, saying she would much rather drink her own urine.
Yeah.
I don't think she said that.
Talking about drink, I'd love to take Dyer out for a drink. He's got the flattest head I've ever seen a human being. You just literally, you could place your pint glass on his head alongside. Be fantastic. It is flat as anything I've ever seen. So yeah, be cracking it up.
Glenn Doddle.
Caffuity.
I like Caffuity.
Yeah, loving that, Aaron. Loving that.
Sophie's in the house.
Hey, Sophie is in the house.
Mr. Iggy. Is it
Mr. Iggy? Mrs. Iggy.
Mrs. Iggy. Mrs. Iggy. And he's Mr. Sophie. Yeah.
Yeah. Where's Mr. Sophie tonight?
Where is Mr. Sophie? Yeah.
Well, in fact, we don't want him here, so we'd rather have Mrs. Iggy. So.
If you've got nothing nice to say about Eric Dyer, then we're not going to say anything at all. I think he's playing really well this season, and
he was solid. He stepped
up his game. Yeah, he's not making as many mistakes. His concentration levels have improved. Speaking of people that have been steady and their concentration levels have improved, and they've improved this season as a result. Ben Davies, Rez.
Yeah, he again solid. Good, made some forward runs. Didn't do anything wrong. It was just apart from that first 15 minutes, washing his hair. That won't take long,
washing his hair.
Which one?
Iggy was washing his hair. Is washing his hair. That's why he's not here. Yeah, which one? Nice. Apart from that first 15 minutes, where we seem to be, Burnley, Tottenham. It was a solid performance by everyone. Cess maybe made a few errors, but Davis, in a way, it's a sign of a good team that you don't, when your defense does things without really noticing that they're doing well. If you turn around and say, "Oh, that was a great tackle," it shows that your defense is being put under pressure, and that they've had to do something special to deal with it a little bit. Apart from Romero's destruction of Richarlison, no one really did anything desperate.
I thought we were in trouble first 10 minutes. I thought we were getting out and beaten to all the second balls, didn't we? I was like, oh, this isn't going to go very good.
Yeah, apart from that first 10, 15 minutes. Outside of that, it was just a really good, solid performance from our defence. And Davis exemplified that for me.
It's Iggy, by the way.
Hey!
Iggy or
Mrs. Sophie.
Have you taken all accounts and streams away from Stell so that he doesn't have access?
Well, he's involved in legal action at the moment, isn't he? So if we don't want to lose,
I was on with him about an hour ago, hour before the stream started.
I remember you saying he's gone anorexic, hasn't he, after his COVID?
Yeah. He's lost a bit of weight. But
Tommy, you've got Cess, probably one of the most interesting players from the game, actually. Went off injured at half time, obviously. Set up the first goal, didn't have a great run in behind. was much more forward thinking. What did you think?
Yeah, for me, he's a left winger. We signed him as a left winger, and that will always be his best role. It's going to be difficult to outplace Son, of course. So in terms of performance, very similar to Leeds. Against Leeds, first 15 minutes, he was really good going forward. First 15, 20 minutes. I remember against Leeds, put 3 great balls into the box. One of them Doherty got in the end of. There were another 2. Same here, same against Everton. When he sort of went off the boil, and there are defensive deficiencies. There are defensive deficiencies to assess. And for me, the only change I would have made going into the game was to play Reggie, to be perfectly honest. I think Reggie's our best wing back out of the 4. But I do think look, Sessegnon's still young, come off early. It's good that he's getting game time. It is good. It will serve him well. It will serve him well, whether it be with us or another club. I think probably needs to go out on loan again. But in terms of performance, very similar to Leeds. Great going forward, but there still are defensive deficiencies there.
Barry, you've got Rodrigo Bentancur, or Roddy, as I like to call him in Cassandra's voice from Only Fools and Horses. Roddy. Did you see fucking Sherwood, Tim Sherwood? Apparently, his review of Bentancur, that he's rubbish, and he only plays it backwards. Gets caught in position, gives the ball away too long. Who sanctioned this signing? Yeah. It's out today. He was working in Dubai or something on one of the Premier channels, and he did a whole piece about. I don't see what he's got in betting and winks. He just passed it side to side, and then they showed the pass map, and he did. I don't think he hit a sideways pass in the whole game, and he didn't. And his pass completion was so ridiculous, like 92%. And Sherwood said he kept giving the ball away. Yeah, he's no good.
Is Tim Sherwood now turning into the sort of pundit equivalent of a certain? I didn't want to name names. But is he becoming the pundit version of a certain Spurs streamer who has some unusual opinions? Let's say.
Would that be a certain Spurs streamer that was out with us on Saturday night?
I'm not naming names. That's not my style. Unless it's Daniel Levy or Donna Cullen, because they're twats. But yeah, surely there comes a point where reality just cannot, you can't impinge on reality any further. And I think Sherwood turning around and saying that Bentancur is no better than Winks is stretching reality. It's a breaking point.
I just had a revelation. I know where Tim Sherwood drinks, the local pub he drinks in, so let's try and get him on the show. I'm going to go down there and try and tap him up. I don't think he'll do it, but we could call it run around a bit. I actually know his local pub. I forgot. He lives in Southampton. He lives in Southampton and he drinks at the same pub all the time. I know where he
might be all right. There might be like Tony Gale. Might be all right in person, but he's a
But come on, we've got Alatici's on a sabbatical as well, so you need to get
Alatici. That's one of our talking points later. Who can Alatici approach next to get on the show? I actually set him a task this week to get after we mentioned him on the show last week. Can anyone guess who No, really random. Alton Thelwell. I asked him to get Alton Thelwell on the show this week, and he's bottled it. That's why he's disappeared off the stream.
Iggy, I was talking about Danny Kiriakou, mate. We just didn't want to say his name. We were just being polite, me and Rez. So,
what are you on about?
Iggy's asked me to behave myself, but I've just said it was Danny Kiriakou we were talking about all along. No,
not Alex. Can we clarify?
Your not so secret crush, Nick.
Yes,
he likes smelling Danny.
He's like the Michael Bublé of the Tottenham YouTube community. You have a man crush on him. I'm sorry if you cannot say you don't. So don't try and make out like I'm weird.
We're gonna create a special Shelf Side Spurs aftershave, and it's going to be called Scent of Danny.
Is that because Johnny's lost his bun? Is that because Johnny got rid of his bun? You're on
mate.
Danny Case.
Yeah, there's only one bun in the world. I thought I'd let Danny be that bun. Be that bun.
Absolutely.
That could be the tagline for our advert for our perfume. Be that bun.
He's the boon. He's
Be
the
that
boon.
bun.
Shelf Side,
The
Harrods.
bun.
You're seeing Selfridges and Harrods coming soon.
Next to what's the name of that? Who sells that jam?
Res is
Fortnum and Mason. Fortnum and Mason.
Fortnum and Ryan Masons.
Right.
Right.
Rez. Benton.
Yes.
Yeah, Benton.
Man of the match for me. Absolutely controlled things. Showed us what a useless piece of shit Harry Winks is. And long may it continue. And also made the person next to him look like a completely different player. So, and that moves us swiftly on to Højbjerg, Rez.
Yes, Rez.
Yeah, again, solid. A little bit shaky at points, though. There were a couple of times where he sort of, until we went sort of 4-0 up. It was probably a bit too early in the second half to say this, but certainly in that first half. Shortly, I'll get to you shortly. I'll get to that shortly, Mr. Sophie.
In what theme? In what theme? Please put the theme you'd like it in as well.
Yes, yeah, you need the
Jazz
style,
swing.
the
Jazz
genre
swing.
as well. I think Højbjerg, everyone actually, but Højbjerg seemed to be the sort of exemplar of it. It was a bit frenetic. It was a bit sort of on edge in terms of passing and sort of the playing of the game. Even at 3-0 up, even in that first half, it just felt as if I kept saying, just, calm it down a bit, relax a little bit, don't sort of push too much. It was almost like, oh my God, we've got to get this done. Come on, nervous, that sort of nerviness to it. And I think Højbjerg was the sort of one that really showed that the most. But again, outside of that 15 minutes, no one really did particularly badly. So it was fine for
Rez,
Højbjerg.
you've got the choice of Italian opera or grime. Either end of the spectrum.
Given that choice, I mean, the problem is that I'm at a friend's house, and I know for a fact that if I did grime, I would destroy it utterly and just without pity. And if I did Italian opera, my friend's ears would explode.
And you'd break all the glasses in the house.
Yeah. So yeah,
I'm not
sure.
What about jazz lounge, kind of lounge act, kind of?
I do that a lot. I've already done that one before.
You've done that one,
I mean, I could do death metal if you like. Karen
metal.
Yeah, no, Karen, yes, that sort of thing. That sort of style, if you'd like, if that helps. Do the conga.
Do the conga.
Danny Kiriaki.
That's it. Yeah, that's essentially that's the.
That's your normal one, isn't it? Yeah, it's your normal one.
Yeah.
Jazz we've already done.
Yeah.
We've got a demand. Tommy doing back BVs.
I can drop some bars. I'll drop some bars behind.
As we call it in the trade, Tommy. BVs. You're on the BVs.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll fuck it. Let's try opera. Here we go.
No, I'm not.
Tommy, where was the BVs?
I can't do it. I was glued. I was glued to Rez. I thought you was going to do something as well. I thought everyone had a little.
No.
Instrument.
We weren't nominated BVs, were we? It was you, man.
We need to do like a close harmony version of it, I think.
Yeah, I'll knock it out.
We weren't the ones claiming that we could do backing vocals either, Tommy. So
yeah,
so I could drop some bars. But not to Danny Kiriakou.
Some bars. What expressions?
Tommy, you've got Decky.
Decky.
Go on, son. Go on.
I love this boy. I love Kulu. Do you know what sets him apart? It's his decision making. His decision making is
quick decision making. Yeah,
par. Not the greatest athlete in the world, not the quickest, but very quick brain. Similar to Kane in terms of
Teddy Sheringham, isn't it?
Athletic.
Teddy Sheringham-esque.
100%.
Such a quick brain. And we've seen that in his in 4 or 5 games. I think every game, even against Burnley, he stood out. All the games he started, he's been one of the best players, certainly in the top 3. So Tommy's got the UK garage look about him. Is that why you said I'm not into cricket? I shouldn't be into cricket, Rez? Is that why? Is that what that's about?
No, I don't know. No,
if you're into garage, you can't.
No, there's nothing to do. I don't. It's like if you said to me, which of your sort of acquaintances and friends would you think least likely to support cricket? I would have probably picked you.
Bowls?
Which one of your friends looks like he was in So Solid Crew?
Yeah, I don't know why. I honestly don't know why.
Tommy looks
Well,
like
anyway,
So Solid Crew.
Back to Kulu.
So Solid Crew.
I've had it a few times. Peaky Blinders today. A few people in the street like Peaky Blinders. I'm like pretty sure. I'm pretty sure there's no Peaky Blinders that are half Kurdish. But hey,
your lookalike is who's the American tennis player?
Andy Roddick.
Roddick, that's it. Yeah, that's Tommy's lookalike. Andy Roddick. He always reminds me of Andy Roddick. Andy Roddick.
I'll
yeah.
take that. I'll take that. He
Yeah.
was quite built, wasn't he? He was built. I was going to buy a Lacoste shirt today, actually. I was on the
There you
process of buying a Lacoste shirt. But yeah, Kulu, love the man. Decky, Kulu, whatever you want to call him. Great decision maker. That 3-pronged attack, I think is going to be something special. It's going to be something truly special.
And also, what's it called? The old pink lemonade. Where's the camera on this? I don't know if you can see.
Pink lemonade, orange soda.
It's like a fucking dildo.
And cola ice.
Who loves orange soda? It doesn't know. It's not slang for anything else, mate. It's not slang for anything else in the UK, Cody.
It's just
EastEnders. So Barry and Tommy are in EastEnders. Let's do an EastEnders reunion. I presume Alfie Solomons is from EastEnders, is he? I don't know.
Yeah.
Is he? I
don't know. I was there on Tuesday night, Elstree.
Were you?
Yeah.
That's spreading COVID around.
Yeah, spreading COVID around with Keith Lemon and Emily Atack. I mean, I'm sure Mari wouldn't mind spreading a bit of COVID around with Emily.
Oh shit, you was there.
Do you remember the rumour that Katie Price started about Emily Atack? And that's all I'm going to say.
No, do tell.
There's your clue.
This is the stream for that. This is the stream.
Clue number 2 is Rez's vape looks like a dildo. She said she had a smelly
dildo. Smelly dildo.
Jesus.
But then again, that was probably Katie Price just being bitter and twisted, wasn't it? How would she? Yeah, how would she know? How would she know? How would she know?
She probably smashed it. Katie Price probably smashed it.
Smashed it? Did you smash it? Did you smash it? Where's Richard Keys when you need him?
Also, can I say, Josh in the chat, I saw a Twitter post of you on the hood of a car with a female on the hood of a car saying mixtape incoming. I'm being genuine. What's that? Oh, you being satirical there? Or you're going to drop some bars too, Josh?
No, Tommy. Josh has to get it past his lawyers first. And then he has to see whether or not he has to, he's allowed any royalties from his, his new tunage that he's going to release.
Rez, you busy? You busy, my friend? What you got coming up the next week?
Rez, you taking on new clients? Rez is just dumbstruck about me telling everyone that Amy Attack's got a smelly.
Don't let Mari hear you say those types of things.
Is that what it was? Oh, is that what it was? Right, okay.
Barry, you get Harry Kane.
Oh, well, look, I think everyone was waxing lyrical about him getting man of the match for scoring 2 goals, but for me it was between Kulusevski and Bentancur. But yeah, I mean, look, great taking goals. Beat the offside trap for the first one, and then that volley over his kind of the volley over the shoulder was sublime. It was like a chef's kiss. So perfect. He's just coming into form now. Into double figures. 12 games left. I think I said last night that he's going to get 20 and above. Tommy disagreed, as always, Mr. Negative. So
I didn't disagree. Hey, come on now. I was the one that said 18. I was like 18, 19, might get it.
Is it above 20 though? Is it above 20, Tommy? No, you disagreed.
Doty and Kulusevski contributed more to the result directly than Kane did.
Correct.
Without them, Kane wouldn't have got those goals. You know, that's the thing. And this is the sky. This is the sky approach to it. You know, if a player gets goals and does it with spectacle, apparently that makes him man of the match, rather than the fact that football is a team game. You know, it's not.
If we
one
get
individual
20,
thing, you know.
If he does get 20, Reza, do you think we get in top 4? Do you think that's if we get 20, we're gonna get top 4?
I think I will. I've already pinned. I've sort of pinned my colours at the moment to us not getting top 4. But a lot of that will depend on what we do on Saturday. Is it Saturday we're playing? Yeah, Saturday.
Big 7 days.
5:30.
Big 7 days coming up.
If we can beat Man U, I will be more willing to accept the possibility that we can get top 4. But it's still, listen, we're still, and we will be for the rest of the season, 2 or 3 injuries away from collapse. Yeah, that good results don't change that fact. For me, or for anyone, I don't think. You know, if, say, for instance, you know, Bentancur is injured again, and Skip is still out, we're going to have to play wings. And then imagine if, say, Højbjerg gets injured.
I hate to say that. By the sound of the way Conte was talking, I don't think he's going to be back.
Sounds like they've made it worse.
So if we don't see Skip again this season, and let's say, for instance, Bentancur and then let's say Højbjerg also, both of them get injured together, we would have a midfield pairing of Harry Winks and Harvey White.
I've never heard of an infected groin. That's what Skip's got. Is that? It could be another name for herpes. I'm not sure, but infected groin. Like,
he must have been sleeping with Emily Atack. Allegedly.
I think the injury.
See if we can get her on to defend herself.
Yeah.
Where she drinks.
I don't know what pub she drinks in though.
You know what? You don't know where she drinks. Well, we'll find out. We'll find out.
Sorry, Rez.
The injury has become infected.
Yeah,
not the area itself, not just the area itself. The injury that he sustained to his groin has become infected, apparently, which can happen. So,
but guys, let's just take it game by game, please, because I'm there with Iggy, with Mrs. Sophie, game by game. Let's be positive. And now Iggy's asked a question.
Hang on, I've got an interactive section coming up. So I want your reactions via. You're not allowed to speak. You have to do a facial expression. You're allowed to use your hands to this comment from Scott. Are you ready? Zone yourselves, center yourselves, and I want your immediate reaction to this comment from Scott. Mine is
What?
Scott, now you must be fishing.
I can't raise my eyebrows high enough, so I'm pushing.
Scott, you must be fishing, my friend. You must be fishing. That ends the interactive section with that sigh, Rez. Aaron has inherited the spirit of Richard Keys.
Yep.
I like that section, Johnny. I might add that to my.
I think from now on, rather than use the word smash, I think we should use the phrase Richard Keys. So united effort are taken. I reckon we Richard Keys them.
We Richard Keys the hell out of them.
Yeah. So Richard Keys that like.
Richard Keys that like, boy.
Right. So you ready? Send to yourselves again, guys. Come on.
Okay.
So Iggy's got a question for the panel. I've not actually read it. Let's have a look. I'll just get into my Michael Parkinson mode. I don't know who Alan is. If you could relive any player from the past for one season, any player from day one of you being a Spurs fan today, who would it be and why?
What does he mean by relive?
Yeah.
Is it as in be? Sort of taking place.
There's only one person that can help us now. Sophie, what does he mean?
Into the team.
Sophie, what does he mean? Sophie, what does he mean? You're the put it through your Iggy understander and let us know what he means.
Yes, use the Iggy understandertron.
We've got a lead on the Emily Attacks Local.
A lead.
I'm saying a word called the Doth. Zero.
Right, okay.
Is that proper you, Tom, is it?
Oh.
Ugh.
You're gonna have to
deluded.
Another fucking lawyer. You're gonna need another lawyer now. You're gonna need another fucking lawyer now.
I'm sorry. Can you bring Scott's comment up very quickly? There. You see, the thing is, Scott, if you were deluded, you wouldn't know that you were deluded. Therefore, you can't say whether or not you are deluded or not.
Idea for a new stream: Scott and Alex together. The Scott and Alex show. Just bashing at it for it. And you have to work out. One of them has to pick a thing out of a hat and say that they're deliberately winding someone up, and the other one has to give their actual opinion. And you have to work out which one is on a wind up and which one is actually deluded. Deluded or wind up. Deluded or wind. Yeah.
Call my delusion.
Call my Emily A6 muff. It's got a good ring to it. Yeah. Aaron slagging off.
If Iggy's saying, you know, which player would you bring back, and like have in the team? I mean, it's got to be Hoddle. I think
Scott to focus.
No, he said from day one of you being a Spurs fan, it's got to be one that you've witnessed directly. And I never had the privilege of watching them. So for me, I will say I would have. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, I think I would have Van der Vaart. I would have Van der Vaart back. Yeah.
Or should I say, Aaron, Scalex pricks? Sorry.
Oh. Wow, shots fired here. Shots fired. Wouldn't you have prime Lucas Moura in your side?
He was
I know Scott Edmund.
in Scott's defence, Lucas Moura's never had a prime moment in his.
Yeah,
I think it's got to be prime Gareth Bale, the first coming of Gareth Bale.
Oh yeah, I forgot Gareth Bale. Yeah.
Now you're all talking shit because the answer is Glenn Hoddle. Glenn Hoddle.
Yeah, but Iggy said players that you've actually witnessed, and I never witnessed him play, so I can't pick him. That's the thing. I can't pick Glenn Hoddle. But otherwise, if it's any player, then yeah, Glenn Hoddle.
Yeah, he would be brilliant in today's game with the pitches and the protection from the refs and that free role they'd have, or as a sweeper or a number 10. It'd be It'd be the nuts.
Yes, these nuts.
So I've deliberately moved the panel around so Tommy gets to talk about Sonny. Tommy, what did you think of Son's performance?
2 out of 10. No, it's look. He was given so much time by that Everton back line. They were nowhere near it. They were just absolutely nowhere near him. Any run, they just were not. There were no markers in place for Everton. You could tell they were unconfident. They were struggling. That back four. It was awful. Anyone could have made those runs, and he should have scored the first goal. So I was behind it. I mean, that's got to be a goal. That's got to be a goal. And you have to say, I'm just going to go into the negatives to start with. Even the goal, Pickford should have saved. Shouldn't he? Yes. Pickford should have saved that, shouldn't he? He really should have saved that. And then the third opportunity probably should have put that way as well. But look, you've got to make the runs, and he still worked hard. He always gives it his all. But on the night, he was that left hand side was the weaker side, I think, with Cess and Son on the night. But I just don't think he was great. I don't think he was great Monday night. I think Kane and Kulu certainly in the attack were a lot better.
Absolutely.
Do you know, just to back that up, do you know, this feeds into the whole Cody Will axis, right? The issue here is that Son might have got statistically some good numbers, but when you watch him play, he's not the player that we have seen before. Yeah. The best example of that is his first chance at goal. Whereas before, it was on the left-hand edge of their area, right? Whereas before he would have just shifted and shot. He took so many sort of steps with the ball, and then Anthony Gordon managed to make up the ground and nick the ball off him, right?
I agree. 100%.
That's the key difference. That's the difference between the Son that when he's on fire, and the Son that we're seeing a lot of at the moment. Okay. I make the comparison that Son right now is like a high performance engine that is in need of serious maintenance. Yeah. The ability to do things, to perform, is still there, but it's not at peak performance levels. Yeah. So he might be our top scorer. He might be our top goal contributor this season, but we should really be seeing more from Sonny, because if he was performing at his peak, he would probably be doing even better. The idea that because he's doing well, that means he's performing optimally is a fallacy. And you can have as many stats as you like to sort of say, oh, well, he's our top scorer, or he's got more goal contributions than he's ever had. That you've got to have a frame of reference. And because we don't know, we've only got the eye test to sort of say whether or not he's doing well or badly, or performing at peak efficiency or not. You can't turn around and say that the stats prove that he's playing fine.
I agree completely.
I
agree.
Apply the eye test.
Stats should be to validate. They shouldn't be the start.
Yes.
The starting argument should not be
Correct.
stats. It should be the end argument. You know, these stats validate, they back it up. Look, we can do that when you're scouting opposition, because you haven't got the time in the day to watch 90-minute games of, you know, every opposition team play. But Spurs, you've got 90 minutes, you can watch it back, you can watch the full 90 minutes. You don't have to rely on stats. So when you're looking at players to sign, you almost certainly have to look at stats. But in this process, all Spurs fans, we can see that Son's not on it as he usually is. I think what it is, when you got into the whole Rez, he started talking about he's not doing the basics right, and I think he thinks too much. He overthinks things, and I saw it last season. When he plays too much, he gets burnt out. He doesn't necessarily get physically drained. He gets mentally drained. He really does. He gets mentally drained. He needs to just do the basics. The basics are incredible. Coming off the left-hand side, inside, curling it into the right corner, or playing the ball into the right corner where somebody can get on the end of it. That's his strength, and he's the best in the world at that. Right fullbacks know that's coming as well, and they still can't stop him. Right fullbacks know he's coming inside, and they still can't stop him. That's how amazing that guy is. Got to go back to the basics.
Right, that's the end of the match review then. So we're on to Spurs in the news, Tottenham's talking points. Nick, you got a point to make?
No, I'm not asleep, so I don't know who changed my.
you were like. See how long it will take you to notice. It's time for Rez's rant.
Oh God!
Are you ready, Rez? So
yes.
You'll get obviously some moments to digest it, and then away you go.
Okay.
Oh God! This is going to go off. This is going off.
So okay. I'm not going to talk about necessarily, or I'm not going to comment on the sanctioning of Roman Abramovich. That's not something that I'm able to do. But Chelsea are a blood money funded scumbucket of a club. Man City are a blood money funded scumbucket of a club. And Newcastle are a blood money funded scumbucket of a club. Okay? These three clubs are owned by the dregs of humanity. They are owned by people who really can't qualify for the title of human beings. All right? These people are scum. They destroy lives. They destroy people. They destroy souls. They cause pain, and they do it for money. And then they come over here and put on the devil's smile and want us to love them. Well, fuck you. Okay? If you fell off a cliff, I would celebrate. All right? If you were on fire, I wouldn't piss on you, because my urine is worth more than you. All right? Fuck off out of English football and never grace our game again. Okay?
Do you think after the precedent they've set with Chelsea that there is a precedent for them to go after Man City and Newcastle next?
I can't comment. I honestly can't.
Obviously, yeah,
okay?
for your job,
I can't comment on government policy.
Yeah,
what I would like to see is for them to be gone. That's all I'll say. Right?
Yeah.
In an ideal world, I do not want them to be here. Okay? How that comes about is I will do what I can as an individual, as a human being, for them not to be here. Right? But that will be what I do. I mean, to be honest, what happened to Chelsea, for instance, today was run by the Treasury, as well. And I'm in the Home Office, so it's nothing to do with me. It's nothing to do with the department I work for anyway. So I just want them gone, because these people, even if they were paragons of virtue, right, which they really aren't. Okay, what they're doing is in and of itself completely anti-competitive, right? You can't have a situation in which you use money to warp competition to such a point that there's no point. What is the point of the other 17 clubs? What's the point of them, right? When you've got Man City and Chelsea and Newcastle now, right, essentially going to buy everything. What's the point in having 17 other clubs? Why not just have the English league consisting of 3 clubs, Chelsea, Man City and Newcastle, and let them fight it out amongst themselves, right? Isn't that what we protested against with the European Super League? Yeah? Just because we still have promotion and relegation within the English league, that doesn't make what we have any less of a cartel than the European Super League was going to be. Yeah, just because, and this is the thing, people point to, oh, well, Leicester won the league. Yeah, Leicester won the league, but that's an aberration. That was a fluke or a one-time thing. You look back since these clubs have come about, okay, they win everything all the time. Every competition is shared out amongst them, with Liverpool at the moment presenting the only viable possible competition to them. But what happens when Liverpool's money runs out? When they can't, keep funding player purchases like they did when they sold Coutinho? Yeah, they're going to drop back down again like the rest of us. So what is the point of having this situation? We don't have 92 billionaires, okay, A, available, or B, all of them willing to purchase an English club, so then it becomes the battle of the billionaires. Yeah, it's time to stop. It's time for football to stop this fucking addict's relationship with money. Yeah? More controls, more regulation on how they spend their money, so that and the Premier League has to take responsibility. It has to step forward and say, do you know what? We're going to try and put the genie back in the bottle. Enough.
Can you see it getting to a stage of like American sports where they have where the players are actually graded by the leagues effectively, say 1 to 20, and then you're allowed to buy one player and 1, 2 player, yeah, like a draft system, yeah.
Draft roster. That's depressing, but it will cut because ESL's gonna arrive one day.
I think the draft system doesn't work because what it does is that it basically it shackles players' transfers. It basically says, this guy's the top pick in the draft. And it's that whatever, no matter what metrics you use, that's always going to be a subjective determination. The way you can do it objectively is the better you do one season, the harder it should be next season for you to show that you've actually got the abilities, right? So if, say, for instance, Man City win the league this season, they should, as champions, not be allowed to spend any money on players the season after.
But
right?
That is what they do. That's what they do in franchises.
I know that's what they do, but but Tommy, the difference is that they make the players think. I mean, or let's say, for instance, the team that finishes second can do 10 million. Yeah. They can spend that 10 million on whoever they like. They can buy 10 £1 million players or one £10 million player, but that's it, right? The team who finishes third can spend 20 million, whatever the figures are. You can always work that out. Yeah. But when you do well, it shouldn't then be easier for you to do well. It should be harder for you to do well. Not easier. That's competition. That's real competition.
Good idea, actually. That the budget should be affected by where you finish. Like the bottom teams should have more of a budget to invest in their squad next season.
I mean, in terms of the roster system, the roster system, that basically is how it is. I mean, if you finish 32nd in franchise in America, you get the first draft pick. You get the first draft pick in every round.
The point is, Tommy, it's the first pick of the draft, right? It's you're saying you have to use these particular players, right? You can't go outside of that, and you don't have a choice. The player thing who gets the top pick, they can either pick that top player or they can sell their draft. But they're still picking from a roster that is set. Whereas if you say that you can only spend a certain amount of money, you can spend that however you like. And that's competitive. And it will also serve to bring this overinflated market, this overinflated price market down as well. Because the team that finishes 20th or the team that is relegated from the playoff position in the championship would be the one that could spend the most money, but they're still going to be frugal, and it will bring the player price down, and it will bring player wages down, because you won't have the super rich clubs being able to blow the competition out of the water for players, because they won't be able to spend money if they win. Yeah. It solves so many problems.
They want to get rid of agents as well, don't they?
I don't think they should get more. Personally, I don't think they should get more. I think they should get the same. I think every club. I don't think you should be. I don't think winning something.
You're mistaking,
like the Super Bowl. I don't think you should. You're
making a mistake. I'm not saying they should get more. No, Tommy, you're making a mistake. I'm not saying they should get more. I'm saying they should be allowed to spend more. They don't have to spend more. They can spend nothing if they want, but they should. But there are limits on how much a team can spend the season after, depending on how they did the season before. If let's say a team who finishes second, the budget for the next season is 10 million. They can spend 1 million. They can spend 5 million. They can spend £0. They can spend £20. They can spend 6 pence, but they can't go above 10 million.
Yeah, Scott raises a good point there, doesn't he? Like, you'd have to get the agreement of the top 5 leagues, wouldn't you, around the other?
Of course you would, exactly. Yeah.
There's a lot of obviously the pool is so big. The pool is so incredibly big.
What would you do with teams going out? Very simple. It's very simple. Look, you say 90, you do it across the whole league, 92, right? If you want, or split it in leagues. Yeah. So the team that comes down, the team that comes down from the league above is considered to have finished first. Yeah.
The
season before.
More than the others.
This is what worries me about the ESL.
The team that finished 17th would be considered first. The team that finished 18th would be first. 19th would be second. 20th would be third. And then whoever finished fourth, last season, or didn't get promoted but was the highest placed team, would be considered to have finished fourth. Yeah. There are ways of thinking, and the thing is that getting sort of a little bit bogged down in the actual mechanics of it doesn't work. There are always solutions. There will always be solutions. You can become technical and granular as you like until you find something that works. And it's hard. I'm not saying it's easy, right? Because as Tommy says, as Scott says, sorry, you'd have to get the agreement of all the leagues, and it has to be a cooperative thing. But the point of it is this: is that we have it is enough. It is enough. This addiction, this sat there guzzling money, right? All the money flowing around. We're tarred with it. We're like those seagulls after an oil slick, right? We're stuck. And all that's going to happen is that you're just going to get a crystallization or a petrification of this cartel where you get those 20 teams. The reason that Juventus are so keen on the ESL is because they know they can't compete with the Man Cities, with the PSGs, with the Real Madrids, with the Chelseas, now with the Newcastle. So they want to get themselves into something that protects them. Yeah, that's not the answer.
It's happening? Do you think it's certainly happening, Reza, down the line?
No, I don't think so. Without the English clubs, it won't happen. If they do it without the English clubs, it will fall apart.
It will destroy this league. It will destroy football for me because of the pyramid.
I don't trust the English clubs to stick by what they've said recently and that they're not going to join. Right? Like the Chelsea, funnily enough, the Chelsea Supporters Trust turned around today and said that one thing that they want is a cast iron written guarantee that Chelsea will never attempt to join a European Super League. And for that, you've got to give them credit. You have to give them credit for that. Chelsea fans, though they happen to be. You know?
No, yeah, we know that, Scott.
No, absolutely. No, I agree with Scott. I'm just saying, it's not an easy solution. You're absolutely right, Scott. It's not simple. It really isn't. You're right, 100%. But a solution is needed, right? It is. We are really coming to the point of clubs will, big clubs, famous clubs, top flight clubs. I can envisage going to the wall soon because they will keep trying to compete and they will be unable to. And the financial risks that they take will come back to bite them. Leicester at the moment are already spending more than their turnover on wages.
I don't know if it's FIFA. I don't know if it's FIFA or UEFA, Rez, but they've already proposed that the agents' commission shouldn't be percentage based anymore. It should be a flat fee.
A flat fee.
That's it. Nothing more. They don't get anything more just to try and stop the agents nicking all the money from the game.
Yeah. I mean,
that's key. That is absolutely key. Yeah. That's absolutely key. Yeah. But they're so fundamental in negotiations now. The agents are so fundamental.
I mean, look at Paul Pogba's transfer to Man United from Juventus. From what I understand, Raiola, I think it is, who's his agent, got something like £40 million, right, as an agent's fee. That is disgusting. Okay, that is institutional levels of money for an individual to take. Who the fuck do you think you are? Okay,
I wouldn't pay £1 for Pogba. Useless fucking.
You don't have to take any exams to become an agent now either. You used to, I think 5-6 years ago, there was about 1,400 football agents in this country. Since you just had to pay a flat fee of £800 or £900, I think it's gone up to 8,000, 9,000 agents in the world.
Anyone can be an agent, yeah.
Anyone. I know people that own businesses. My family, my dad's son, owned a lot of property and businesses. And I knew there was a guy that's just in property and business. He was signing play. He knows nothing about football. He had 16-year-olds under a football agency that he's just looked at and was told that it's like a property investment. It's exactly what
same as Daniel Levy. That's why they got involved in football because they saw a revenue stream, didn't they?
That guy only needs one Paul Pogba, and he's set for life.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in the meantime, he's potentially ruining footballers' careers because if he's not looking after them properly, if he's just bringing them in for the numbers and not actually representing them because he doesn't know what he's doing, that's potentially the careers of human beings that he is essentially selling in the hope that his future can be secured. Someone tell me that that's ethical.
No, Rez.
It's not.
But what do you really think, Rez?
That concludes Rez's rant. We got a bonus rant there. We got a bonus rant about transfer fees and stuff as well.
But I'm a little bit unsure if you said how you really felt, Rez, like Tommy just mentioned.
It's like there's a stormtrooper behind you with a.
You guys know me. You guys know it. I'm not gonna gild
Tommy
the
was
fucking
going
lily.
to Dreamworld. He was like, Crufts is on. Highlight for Crufts.
I've got to go, boy. I've got to go, chaps. It's qualifying.
Speaking of light-hearted, Barry,
he's got to check. He's got to cast his eye. He's got to cast his eye over the talent.
Yeah.
Draft choice.
Barry.
The Crufts draft.
Barry, it's your moment of glory. Barry's brain buster. It's time for Barry's brain buster. Would you like to read it out? See if our illustrious panel and the people watching can get it for you. Ready?
Oh.
Barry's brainbuster. Roman Pavlyuchenko has a long one. Heung-min Son has a short one. Neymar does not use his. Harry Winks always uses his. Pele never uses his. What is it?
Just give the viewing millions a chance to put their answers in the chat. Rez has got it. Tommy is looking like he's thinking of KFC and Boxing Day.
And dogs.
I'm trying.
Yeah, now it's not so easy when the boot's on the other foot, is it, Tommy?
Yeah, Tommy. Yeah.
Crazy questions.
Why don't we find out what a number is, eh, Tommy?
What's the number?
Anyone in the chat got any ideas?
Let's do the countdown. Didn't we get copyright claim last week? We better do a different tune.
I'll just change it slightly.
Do Danny Kiriakou.
Danny Kiriakou.
Who's the other Danny? Danny. Who did we say? Who did we say the other Danny liked last week in his profile picture? It was Alan Hutton. Danny Allen Hutton, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
Danny Allen Hutton. Tommy, what's the answer?
Scottish Cafu. No idea. I literally have no idea. I would have said shot, but because I know Pavlyuchenko scored some bangers, but no.
Alan Harris has got it. No.
Alan Harris has got it. Yeah.
Oh yes.
Rez, would you like to reveal after drum roll?
It's
3, 2.
Surname. Woo!
It's very good.
Very good. Yes.
Excellent.
So I've got a Barry quiz before we leave the night. It's going to be Barry against Tommy. Like you got some EastEnders knowledge from earlier.
Excellent.
Let's do this.
Barry,
Let's do this.
Thanks for letting me know, Johnny. Yeah.
Right. Who's going first and who's going second?
I don't mind.
Guess first.
I'll go second. Yeah.
Hold on. No, let's toss the coin. We'll toss the coin. Hold on. So, but Tommy is the guest can call it. Tommy.
We do multiple choice. How does this work?
Tommy, heads or tails?
Tails.
Heads or tails?
Of course it's tails.
Of course it's tails. Yeah, of course it's tails.
Tails. It is tails. I'll tell you. There you go. It's tails. All right.
Do you want to go first or second?
I was going to say I'll go second. Okay. It's like a penalty shootout. The pressure's on me. If at the end it's level. So okay, yeah. I'll go second.
Question 1. What was the name of your dad in EastEnders?
Roy.
I knew this as well. I knew that. I knew it.
Roy Evans.
I was going to say Ron or Roy.
It's like a penalty shootout. So Barry's gone 1-0 up. Right. Tommy's penalty. I'll have to do this for next week. Penalty shootout instead of a quiz.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
So Tommy steps up to take his penalty.
Are we in sudden death already then?
When Barry got out of prison for his part in the plot to burn down the car lot to get back at Frank Butcher, what was the car lot renamed when Barry and Roy took over?
Danny
Kiriakou. Danny Kiriakou.
Pat Butcher.
Pat Butcher car lot. Think about it, man. Pat Butcher car lot. Barry, do you know what's the answer, Barry?
I don't know. Evans and Son.
Of course it was. So Barry's 1-0 up. Barry steps up to take the next penalty. Right.
Okay.
Upon losing his job at the car lot, Barry is forced to seek employment elsewhere, and he uses a malicious means to replace whom as manager of the local film rental shop. Our American viewers must be loving this.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
EastEnders.
Gee, man, what's EastEnders?
Yeah, I have no idea.
The local film rental shop. I'm trying to think.
Video. No, video
Who was the
rentals.
manager of the video shop? Yeah.
Yeah, basically, who was the manager of the video shop until Barry wheedled his way in there and got him the sack? There's a clue. Oh, I'm not going to give you a clue.
No, don't give him a clue. He's 1-0 up.
I'll give you a clue if Barry can't get it.
Well, what? We're passing them over now.
Yeah, we passed that your one over, didn't we? I did. I just passed that one over.
Did you?
Right. Did it? Do 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 do. Danny Kiriakou, Danny Kiriakou, Danny Kiri. Did it? Danny Kiriakou. Right. No, it's the incorrect answer. It goes over to Tommy. Now the clue is one of the dogs in Barry's name earlier is the clue, basically. If you think of one of the dogs in his name, he had all the EastEnders characters, and then he had the dogs from EastEnders.
Oh right, yeah. What was Wellard's owner? Who was Wellard's owner? The bloke. He's in I'm a Celebrity, I think. What's his fucking name? Ugly guy.
I know it now.
Oh, the ugly chap.
As a clue, your favourite ever Tottenham player is his first name.
Robbie, yeah, it's Robbie. Yeah, it's Robbie. It is Robbie. Yes.
And
Robbie.
The statue that Mohammed Al Fayed had up at his stadium. There's the second name.
Fuck me. Do you want to just give him the fucking answer or the point? Jesus Christ.
Robbie Jackson. Yes.
Right.
I would have got it. I was getting there.
Is it 1-0 still?
Of course
isn't
you
it?
were getting there when he gave you the answer.
I gave you the answer.
Your favourite player's first name and the surname of the statue outside.
So it's still 1-0 to Barry in the penalty shootout. So Tommy's penalty. What was the name of your son with Natalie? Barry's son with Natalie.
Danny Kiriakou, Danny Kiriakou, Danny Kiriakou, Danny Kiriakou, Danny Kiriakou, Danny Kiriakou,
Danny Kiriakou, Danny Kiriakou. No idea.
No answer. Over to
Barry's
Barry.
Googling it. Barry.
Sorry, what?
No, that's the incorrect answer. What's the name of your
Google
son in
was not the
EastEnders?
answer, no.
What's the name of your son with Natalie in EastEnders?
Natalie.
Come on, don't make us Danny Kiriakou, you.
Jack.
Oh!
Did you know that? I
Back
just
at the
Googled it.
net.
He was 100% googling that, man.
He was,
Come
wasn't he? He's on the old computer.
Come on now.
I can prove to you.
Porn.
I was on FPL.
Dog Hub.
Dog Hub, mate.
2-0 to Barry. Who's
I was going to say Pat Butcher. I think it would have been.
Google Workspace.
Which friend of Barry's did his wife Natalie run off with, ending their marriage? Interesting.
This is your question, Nick. Nick steps up to try and make it 3-0.
I honestly don't know.
Which friend of Barry's?
Danny Kiriakou, Danny
It was Martin Fowler, no?
It was
No, it's passed over.
his wife Natalie run off with.
Danny Kiriakou.
I can't remember if Natalie got with Phil. I say Phil Mitchell.
Danny Kiriakou.
Phil Mitchell. Oh,
Ricky Butcher.
Oh.
Ricky! Right. Tommy's question. What happened when Roy found out Pat had known about the affair but not told Barry?
Danny Kiriakou, Danny Kiriakou, Danny Kiriakou, Danny Kiriakou, Danny Kiriakou,
Danny Kiriakou, Danny Kiriakou, Danny Kiriakou. What's your answer?
he slapped Pat with a leather glove.
With his knob. No, it's the incorrect answer. Barry, what's your answer? You've had enough time.
You get 5 seconds.
Danny Kiriakou, Danny Kiriakou. Danny Kiriakou.
Can't remember.
He was so incensed with rage, he had a heart attack and sadly died.
Oh.
That's what killed him off.
He was an underrated actor, Roy. He was an underrated actor.
What a lovely guy. What a lovely guy.
I know.
He should have been. He would have played a good Boris the Blade in Snatch, I think, Roy.
Yeah.
I think Boris the Blade.
Among other many good roles that he was made to play. Question 7. Nick, this is you, I believe. Why did Janine set out to seduce and marry Barry following Roy's death?
For his trust fund, is for the financial gains.
Oh, we didn't even get to sing Danny Kiriakou.
Fuck's sake.
Nice.
You literally are a Barry connoisseur, aren't you? You literally are Barry.
The onion bag again.
The last question of the day, I think it's you 3-0 up, aren't you? 3-0 or 4-0 up? 3-0.
I got one.
It's
I
done.
got one. I got one. I got Robbie.
Can you come on? You can do this, Tommy. In what country did Janine push Barry to his death? Danny Kiriakou, Danny Kiriakou.
It's got to be somewhere in Britain, but I don't know if it's Scotland or Wales.
Danny Kiriakou.
Danny Kiriakou, Danny Kiriakou. Hey.
Right, I'll say Scotland.
Stop thinking about dogs. Yeah, Scotland. It was
I'll
Scotland.
say
Yes!
Scotland. You know the answer's been up on the screen, yeah?
The comeback is now. So before we go on to score
Come on, baby.
predictions for the game on Saturday, can we have your suggestions in the comments section? After Alan failed to get Alton Thirlwell this week, can we have your suggestions for random kind of cult figure players from Tottenham's past who Alan should try and get on the show for next week? It's his task. He's got 7 days to try and sort it out, like Annika Rice's, what was it called? Annika's Challenge? Or
Treasure
Annika's
Hunt.
Treasure Hunt. So
Yeah, no. Challenge Annika.
Challenge Annika. So we've got Challenge Alanka. This is our new feature,
Yes.
Challenge Alanka.
Yeah.
He's got 7 days to get a
Who
former
decides this?
Kim says
Who
challenge
decides
Alan Carr.
Challenge Alanka, yeah.
Who decides this? Everyone's got
Well,
to be
the
in
comment
agreement,
section. We've got some.
right, okay.
We're asking for. Alan says
Alan, you're not on strike.
you're not on strike just because you failed to get out Alton Thirlwell on,
Yep.
despite me giving you his Twitter address and asking you to DM him. Come on,
Alan.
Alan's on strike.
So
Everyone else
what
is.
Alan will be, there'll be no toast for you, sir, unless you accept this.
Yes, true.
challenge.
I've got a good one.
Oh, here we
Go
go. Lassie or bouncer?
Go on, then.
No,
you can choose. Go on. If it's a good one,
Because I
Alan,
had this
you
on
ready?
a quiz, right? And it was the last Italian player to play for Spurs, Carlo Cudicini.
Mm.
Oh,
What about Paolo
I like that.
Tramezzani? Al?
Yeah.
What about Paolo Tramezzani?
Yeah, it was. The
I
one-
reckon we could get Ramon Vega.
What the heck? Mabazela.
Yeah. What about Mabazela?
Alan, do you want to choose? Alan, put in the comments which of those 3 you want to get. Mabazela, Paolo Tramezzani, or
Lassie.
Paolo
Cudicini.
Cudicini.
Lassie.
Alan, who's your target?
while we're waiting for that, Tommy, have you made an application to take bouncer out of Neighbours as Neighbours is no longer going to be streaming?
I know, bad, isn't it?
Mm.
I know, but Australia have very strict rules about the movement of dogs. Just ask Johnny Depp.
Oh. Alan has put he's on strike. Well, there's no need for that, Alan, if I'm honest. That's very unfavourable. Our guest has suggested someone. Kim has suggested.
Am I gonna have to give you the eyebrow, Alan?
Yeah, give him the eyebrow.
Does anyone remember Phoenix Knights? The guy, the fire marshal that was obsessed with dogs.
Keith Lard, you. Keith Lard.
That's it, Keith Lard.
Yeah.
Obsessed with dogs. Fucking
Yeah.
hell, Tommy.
Have you
brilliant,
seen?
isn't
Have you seen the opening episode to that where he's got apologies to the real Keith Lard. There are no links to the real Keith Lard because obviously real guy in Bolton who was a fire marshal.
Called Keith Laird. His name was Keith Laird, wasn't it?
Okay.
This bears no resemblance to the Fire Marshal Keith Laird. His name was Keith Lard in Phoenix Knights.
So good, so good.
So hashtag, everyone's doing hashtag backstell. So I don't know.
Hashtag stand by Stell.
Stand by Stell, yeah.
Hashtag the fans are the problem. Hashtag
Hashtag caress the trackpad. That's what we've launched tonight. Instead of smashing the like, caressing the trackpad. Caress that trackpad.
Richard Keys that like.
Right. Score predictions for the Man United game. Tommy, as our guest, our illustrious guest, thank you for your time tonight. What's your score going to be in the Man United game? That's the wrong ticker. Where is it?
3-2. Boom. 3-2. Boom.
Who's getting our goals?
I think Kane will at least get a brace. If we score 2 or more goals, I think Kane will get a brace. So I'm saying 3-2. I was on a Man United channel before this, and in all seriousness, I think if they play with one of their strikers, Cavani or Ronaldo, we're going to be in trouble. Because, it's what Man City didn't have. It's what Liverpool didn't have. And we played pretty well against them. They dominated from wide positions, but they didn't have a number 9. Man United dominated against us with a number, not Cavani. When he was there, they won 3-0. But apparently they might not be there. Cavani or Ronaldo might not be there. If neither of them are there, I think we'll win for certain. But I'll go 3-2. I'll go 3-2. Kane hat-trick.
Kane hat-trick. Barry? The myth, the legend.
Rez is eating something. What have you got, Rez?
Pepperami.
Cabanas. Yeah, Cabanas.
I'm going to go with Lucas Moura and Harry Winks. No, I'm not really. I'm going to go with a Harry Kane double to help with the 20 plus goals that I said that he would get. So
fair days. Resmar.
Or
Rex, as we were calling you last week. I just remembered.
Yeah.
Good job we changed
T.
that.
Armitage Shanks Rex.
T. Armitage Shanks Rex, yeah.
Yeah. I reckon we're going to get a draw. 1-1.
We didn't actually decide the target of challenge Alan Cuff, did we?
I think he's going to throw his toys out the pram if he says one more strike and he's out. Out. He's not just out, he's out.
Out and out.
I've got someone for next Thursday anyway.
Have you?
Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah, no one. I mean, he's famous in the YouTube world, but he's not famous for playing for Spurs. So.
No.
You got
You're right there. You're thinking about.
I'm watching women's wrestling in the background.
A red-headed chihuahua in down the road.
Women's wrestling. You watched some random shit.
No, it just came straight on after the cricket. I was like, it is bad.
Yeah.
I haven't had a chance to change the channel yet.
As
it's Rez's dinner time, and Kim didn't do Best Supporting Actress, bringing the dinner in like Alan's illustrious wife.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to give thanks for your? Oh, she did. I wasn't watching. Sorry.
She was so good at doing it that you didn't even notice. That's the point.
Yeah. So thanks for coming on tonight, Tommy. Do you want to plug your channel for those people that want to caress? Was it hashtag caress the roller?
It's either Richard Keys the button or caress the trackpad.
Caress the trackpad.
I'm going to use that. I'm 100% using Richard Keys from now on.
Yeah.
Richard Keys
that
like sub bell comment whatever. I'm definitely going to use it. Can I just say with Alan Harris, you mentioned about his wife bringing him dinner. I swear I watched the stream the other day. Alan was on there, and his wife just come out of nowhere out of bed and walked out. I was like, do you know what it was? Do you know what it was like? It was like Scary Movie 2. Do you know Scary Movie 2 with the Exorcist and she's under the bed? Like, I was like, did I just see that? I was like, did I see that? Yeah, big up Alan. And yeah, Tommy Talksball, that's my handle. If you haven't subscribed, please get over to my Twitter, follow me, subscribe. It'll be very, very helpful. But only Richard Keys, the subscribe button. That'd be very helpful. But not before you subscribe to this brilliant channel. I'm so happy you got to 250. It's a sacrilege that you haven't got more, but it's a big milestone nonetheless. So thanks.
Slowly, catchy monkey.
Really enjoyed it.
No problem. I think speaking of Alan, on your, I think he might have been on your show the other day, and someone put in the comments section, didn't they? Alan looks like a watch salesman. He's about to give you some bad news about your timepiece or something like that. A watch repairman. He's about to give you some bad news about your the repairs to your watch. Brilliant, Alan to a T. Thank you for watching, Alan, as well. I can see you in the comments there. Next week, you've got to get Paolo Tremezzani, Carlo Cudicini. We'll allow Ramon Vega if you can get him, Alan. Who's the third one? Mabizuela. Yeah. Anything to say, boys, before we go?
No.
Come on, you Spurs.
Barry's fallen asleep. Oh, you
come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. Let's beat those.
Come on, you Three Lions. Come on, you Three Lions.
Come on, the Three Lions. When are we playing again then?
I'm talking cricket. I'm talking cricket. Yeah, I'm talking cricket.
We've had it now, Tommy. Now Mark Wood's done, mate. That's it. No bowlers done.
No Jimmy. Bye. No Geordie.